tobom žurim, htjela bih poprilično da s tobom danas bludim. Noć je ova tako lijepa, a u meni silna zbrka kada krene naša frka. Otkrila sam travu, šibražju, otkrila sam sebe, težu, otkrila sam lice i suzicu, otkrila sam ljubav i muzicu. Slušala sam uobičajene pizdarije, paradije, znam pobrojati zvijezde koje se gnjezde gore iznad oblaka, što hitro nailaze.
Hello, hello, hello to all the early heads in chat. We will be starting in a couple of minutes. In the meanwhile, enjoy your boy Yugo DJing a little set for you. Today might be Thursday, but with me, it's always a Friday, starting very, very soon. And today, also streaming after the music ends, of course, over on the Hellhole node as YouTube.
Grickam nokte i za tobom žurim, htjela bih poprilično da s tobom danas bludim. Noć je ova tako lijepa, a u meni silna zbrka kada krene naša frka. Otkrila sam travu, šibražju, otkrila sam sebe, najtežu, otkrila sam lice i suzicu, otkrila sam ljubav i muziku. Slušala sam uobičajene pizdarije, paradije, znam pobrojati zvijezde koje se gnjezde
Yo, Ilian So, thank you very much for the 9 months, baby. Hope you enjoy our beautiful son. I was hearing we had a son, Lillian So. Yeah. Welcome, chatters. It is Thursday, the 16th of January. Let me start the stream over on YouTube as well. Today we are sharing the love across platforms. I hope it works on YouTube. Honestly, if it doesn't, no fucking idea. So let me see if it's going to start playing. I'm using this thing called Restream, so hopefully it sends the stuff over there as well. But the chat will remain only and exclusively Twitch. How you guys doing? It might be a Thursday, but with your boy Hugo, it is always a good old Friday. The flannel looks very nice. Thank you. It's very, very thick. Today we got peace in the Middle East, as the memes like to say. That's why I'm wearing these lovely, lovely two doves. Obviously, the situation is much more complicated than that, and we will cover it. But what is objectively, impressively hilarious is how the Dems and Dem-adjacent media in the U.S. is reacting to Genocide Joe not being able to do anything about the act of genocide in Gaza for like 2 years, and now realizing that, Trump walked in and to an extent got it done in a week. Most likely not for any positive reasons, but nonetheless, it was done. We will have many conversations today. The Israeli cope. There's plenty of footage of how the Israelis down on the ground are reacting to the ceasefire. We have Biden's bye-bye speech. Goodbye, Zaddy Biden. We will miss you, baby. We will miss you so much. It is such a sad day when Zaddy Biden is no longer with us. Why, chat? We will miss him so much. Thank you so much, Ouchless. Then we're going to talk more about, the TikTok ban pretty much pushing everybody towards the glorious Chinese red note. In the end, we might watch a Hassan interview. He was interviewed by a large union leader over in the U.S. Looks like a very, very, very decent news day, right? So Israeli cope over ceasefire, Biden bye-bye speech, TikTok to red note migration, and the Hassan interview. Romka, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, you look like you just opened a vegan cafe or barbershop where they charge you $60 for a haircut. Yo, fuck you. Though that's kind of funny, bro. I am kind of expensive. I charge you $6 for a fucking subscription, bro, for a digital service. Anyways, welcome YouTube chat. Today we're doing a small experiment. We are also streaming on YouTube. But if you want to be part of the active chat, my beautiful YouTube listeners, do consider going into the description, clicking the link, and joining your my more favorite sons and daughters and NBs here on good old Twitch. I even wrote, you can see right above my name, a massive ass banner. I was like, why am I not streaming on YouTube? I'm not really even posting on YouTube that much. But I got like 240,000 subscribers on that whack-ass platform, so I might as well just actively stream and people are going to come over. Most likely that stream is going to get interrupted like every 20 fucking seconds because they have absolutely unhinged copyright regulations over there. It's not a good place to be streaming. But still, some people might not have access to Twitch, so why not stream there as well? And those guys can enjoy it and create a community there as well. You're talking about letting people like journalists and humanitarian organizations in after the ceasefire. Any thoughts? That has been very difficult up until this moment. Even the Egyptians from the Egyptian side were kind of annoying when it comes to allowing journalists in, obviously because of the heavy Israeli influence over the country. The Israelis are going to postpone journalists coming in as much as they can. First of all, we don't know how the situation is going to develop. from Sunday, when the official ceasefire is going to be put into place. After that, the Israelis are going to do everything that they can to potentially restart hostilities, in my modest opinion. But in the case that they don't manage to, this is the type of moment where, post mass killing, post genocide, post destruction, you wanna limit the potential what's the word? The word is like additional damage that can come out of everything you've done. So yeah, they want to limit how many journalists can go into Gaza to properly record everything, to properly interview people, to properly take statistics of just how much damage has been done to the local population, aka mass murder, and to local infrastructure, etc., etc. Now they will be destroying a lot of documents. Now they will be firing a lot of people that were instrumental in the entire process of the Palestinian genocide. They will be moving a lot of people out of Israel. This is cleanup time. Like, if you are a part of the Israeli government at this current moment, it is a lot of shredders, a lot of document burning, a lot of servers being smashed in, a lot of flight logs being deleted. It is cleanup time. So to the question of journalists entering, it has already been very difficult, even though it wasn't supposed to be, because Egypt was supposed to be like a path from which they can all enter. But now it's arguably going to be the hardest of all the aspects. Humanitarian passages might open up a lot more than before. At least I'm optimistic that they will. There's many different guesses on how this situation will further develop. If you are more skeptical, long term, Gaza will be managed by this combination of different Arab states that will have military and police and administrative presence on the territory. That's going to be a way to sell the idea that, this is now Arab run, etc., even though the Palestinians themselves might not have as many administrative rights over the territory as one would hope. That is the more pessimistic perspective. Obviously not the most pessimistic perspective, because the most pessimistic perspective is administration over Gaza not ever existing again. The more optimistic one is Hamas, or an alternative to Hamas, to be able to rebuild its civilian administrative structure, its military structure, etc., and through that to regain relative sovereignty and independent governance of Gaza. But the third category is, the Americans give something to the Israelis when it comes to a piece of Gaza, for them to now fully take up as an administrative force. The chances of that are very low, but those are basically my multiple guesses. We maybe even Sunday ceasefire, and Monday the Israelis change their mind, and Trump changes his mind and they start bombing again. Many things can happen, but that does not mean we should not be slightly optimistic, because I, my dear friends, am, at least in the last year and a half, this is the first step towards a lasting peace and towards some semblance of stability for our dear Palestinian brothers, sisters, and enemies. So from that perspective, hell fucking yeah, tap yourselves on the fucking shoulder. It is time to cute. Lele está samyado jiveo! Lele está samyado jiveo! Thank you, Chatted, for the 10-month sub. Thank you very much, brother. Let's fucking go. Lovely. Okay, now let's start with the coverage. Already there's MSNBC is like, oh my God, who will think of the Israelis? They must be so sad. They're already going defense mode, because anything that is done by Republicans, de facto bad. Therefore, even if the greatest genocide of our lifetime, especially for us relatively younger people, even though I'm your uncle, I'm still relatively young, being potentially put to an end. No, we cannot concentrate on that. We must concentrate on what the Israelis think of this, because throughout our entire electoral campaign, us as Dems were like, you cannot say no to Israel no matter what, because that would make you unelectable for some reason. And then the guy who lost the election too, at least from the preliminary information we're getting about the situation, went and told the guy that you said you cannot say no to, and he said no. And then
a new child soldier,
the war
subscriber.
stopped. Like the party of the ultimate political cuck. But they're not just the ultimate political cuck. They are also somehow capable of being even bigger fail sons than those of than Republicans. Thank you so much, Soviet Seguro. Long live the immortal science of Marxism, Leninism. Let's fucking go. Absolutely, brother. And thank you, Paluki, for the 11 months. Hello, beautiful chatters. Can we actually be happy, since the most possible scenario is that Israel resumes hostilities the first chance they get? And even if they don't, they probably traded a ceasefire in Gaza for more settlements in the West Bank. You should be happy, because thousands of people will not be dying on a weekly basis. The long-term consequences of this will most likely not be ideal, but the long-term consequences of any war are not ideal. If you should take any solace in something, is that the Israeli economy is completely annihilated. The Israeli morale is completely annihilated. Is the Israelis' image in the world is even more completely annihilated than what it was before. Even their relationship with their sugar daddy, the other 51 states of the United States, is also extremely strained. So if we really want to zoom out, and some might call this cope, you're allowed to, that's okay. I'm an endless optimist sometimes. If you really want to zoom out, the long-term ability of the Israeli state to execute its final solution plan for the Palestinian population has now been massively stifled, or at the very least slowed down. If you want me to completely remove my side choosing in this entire conversation, Hamas won this war. It got completely decimated. And might not even continue existing as an organization. But then again, Hamas's idea of why it exists is not necessarily the proliferation of the organization, but of survival of the Palestinian people in Gaza at any cost. And now, after they fought a war against an enemy that is quite literally supplied by an unlimited money pit, after so long, when they managed to actually to an extent kick him out, at least as it seems now, is a win in my book. Thank you, Romka. If some people really want to be settlers so bad, we can send them to Siberia where nobody lives, and there's plenty of land for them to pursue their endeavors. Remember, there was a guy in a country, it was communist or something, that was constantly sending guys that thought about in a reactionary way to Siberia. I don't know if that's what you're implying. It's a relatively interesting concept. To resist is sufficient, absolutely. The killing stopped, and that's a W. We can't miss the forest for the trees. Tunnel visioning on possible political repercussions isn't too productive. Absolutely, completely correct, as always by Anne. I won't be if the puppet government is basically selling the beachfront to developers, and there be a competitor to the Suez Canal and a nice little gas pipeline for Europe. You never know. It's dude, I don't know. I saw a post, Trump on his way to win 3 Nobel Peace Prizes. Imagine in the first week obviously I'm LARPing hard now. But imagine in the first week, ceasefire in Gaza, war in Ukraine ends, and I don't fucking know. He gives Americans free healthcare, and we're like, holy fucking shit! He was like doing 7D chess, like do like go our guy / Trump. Oh my god! Of course that is not going to happen. I am fucking around, and we're all like, holy shit! The MAGA communists were right the entire time. Holy fucking shit! I would love to live in that imaginary world. That will not be happening, but hey, a man can dream. Indeed. Okay, let's see the coverage. Let's see the cope. Let's see the This is a very sad day. End of war is actually sad because Republicans managed to make it happen and not us. That is why it is very, very sad. The ceasefire in Gaza finally creates bipartisan America. Leftists and reactionaries shaking hands in their one core agreement, which is Biden sucks. Oh, son of a bee. Okay, let me play.
All big news.
And Willie, what an eventful day of news. Of course, we had hearings yesterday. Some look like they're going to sell.
So again, hi chat over on YouTube. Hello. You're not ignored, but welcome to Twitch. Always welcome to Twitch. There's a link right below where you can chat with your beautiful brothers, sisters, and NBs. Okay, let's start.
Through pretty easily. Others were contentious at times. We'll be getting to that. Los Angeles looks like there may be hope in the coming days that they're going to be able to contain some of these horrific fires. Joe Biden's address last night, sort of echoing Eisenhower's prescient threat.
I've unironically bonded with a right winger over our shared hatred of libs once, dude. Welcome to man. It's I don't know if you know this, but in the developing world, there's one core thing that no matter what ideology you might strongly hold, that always binds a lot of people together, and that is their incredibly intense hatred of the United States government. So you will have, I'll say random nationalities. You will have a communist and a right-wing Bosnian being able to share a meal and enjoy a conversation, as long as they just hyper-focus on their intense hatred of the U.S. government. But that's a different conversation.
Of a military-industrial complex, which has proven to be the case over the...
Thank you, Riley, and welcome. Just like anybody who usually watches my stuff, the only 40 videos I've ever made, now joining us here on stream. I'm trying to, do streaming full-time, like make that my main thing, even though obviously the channel will not be ignored. I will be posting there only when I really, have found a topic that deserves exploring. But the main thing is obviously the deprogram, this, first thought, and so on. Anyways, let's continue.
Past 70 years where you have Congress pushing for weapon systems that the Pentagon doesn't even want. But the...
Oh, wow, really? I didn't know. The incredible information coming to us straight from MSNBC that the Pentagon is just buying guns for the sake of buying guns, and it's not really something that the American people need. It's just to line the pockets of the military-industrial complex. I don't know, chat, have you heard about this? Is this information confirmed? Can I get a source on what this gentleman is saying? Can I get a source? I don't know. It sounds like some sort of insane conspiracy theory to me. I don't know. I thought all Americans just wanted their sons and daughters to go abroad and die, causing immense suffering both to themselves and the people they're shooting at. But I don't know. I might have gotten it wrong. People live and learn. Is this real chat? Yeah, exactly. Is this real chat?
Big story. The possibility of this ceasefire deal, and yes, there's going to be squabbling back and forth by both camps. But David Sanger reporting today, Peter Baker reporting today, that what happened in negotiations nothing short.
I wasn't the only one that misfired, that misheard it. He did say peacefire. Okay, he said peacefire. Motherfucker said peacefire. It's funny because like I mispronounce things all the time, and my job is to basically speak a lot. Join us in following peacefire now. What the fuck? Chat is reacting. So there's apparently an account, and Twitch misinterpreted what I was saying and gave a shout out to peacefire now. Oh God!
Sort of historic, and
yeah, but I was saying, yeah, it's ironic because I mispronounce things all the time. But I wanted to say, when your job is to talk, you might as well like talk proper.
incoming and
Another cool comrades shout at them. Oh, great! Then I'm happy. Give them a follow.
outgoing administration having their aides coordinate in the closest of ways.
Sorry, but I'm still triggered by Romka saying that I look like a guy that operates a coffee shop that sells $60 cookies. Motherfucker always knows how to hit the fucking nerve, bro.
The end of just a bloody,
I would prefer to look like a drone operator on the Ukrainian front, okay?
brutal war.
Yeah, even in the busy news day you laid out, above the fold on all of the newspapers this morning is this news
Don't worry, brother. I also tend to dress like that sometimes. Yeah, it's.
of a ceasefire deal.
Now I'm more like a forklift operator. I will take that. The most masculine people on planet Earth. Forklift drivers. What's your gender? Have forklift operator, brother. Yeah, let's go.
That you have here in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and all the
Which is like ultra mask, you know?
other papers. And
No, but you shouldn't be certified. You gotta be like,
yeah,
Yeah, we're getting forklift certified with this one.
despite what we just saw a moment ago from President Biden saying, "Are you serious? Who should get credit for this deal?" It turns out, and we'll talk to Peter Baker about his reporting on this in the Times this morning. It turns out there was behind-the-scenes collaboration between the incoming.
Oh, let's milk it. Oh, Biden did something for this. He did something for this. For
administration and the outgoing one to get this deal, which looks a little tenuous this morning, but there are high hopes that at least some of these hostages will go home and that aid will start to flow.
This is like you have a football team with like, 11 active players and 11, like, while they were playing all season, their position on the leaderboards was like 25th. And then one of the players leaves and another player comes back. And in the second half of the season, they become like the number one team on the leaderboard. And then you hear from the one guy that left, they go replace with another guy coming back and saying, yo, but we need to remember the first half of the season I was there, it wasn't easy to get to the first half of the leaderboard, spin. Somehow they're going to try and milk, the Dems are going to try and milk a success story out of this. But I'm shit-talking the Dems too much. Because when you watch Fox News, I watched it this morning, when you watch Fox News, they're still kind of hoping that it's the Dems that did it. You can see like still some sort of hope for Trump to come out and say, no, I had nothing to do with this. Fuck the Palestinians, yeehaw. Netanyahu, работаем, like go back to work and shit. You can see the cope because they're like recording Israelis, coping as well. And they're like, oh, this is bad. Oh, Hamas is just gonna like betray the ceasefire. Oh. So both sides are kind of like baffled because it's a strange timeline. And I am a talking head. I have side. I must follow side because that is where money come from, into wallet. So they don't know how to properly look at the situation. Just like how you should not know how to properly look a situation like the one that is going to come in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And that situation is called an ad. Avoid ads. Support this show for $6 less in certain countries or for free through Prime. And know where you stand. And by where you stand means supporting masked man screaming about politics on the internet. Also, for every 10 gift subs, I donate 5 because I might love money, but I hate ads more. Thank you very much. Let's continue.
Flow into Gaza.
Yeah, the hostage situation would be the end of agony, at least for some families. Israel's claiming Hamas. Hamas has reneged, though, on a ceasefire deal that would end.
What does reneged even mean? It sounds like half a slur. Genuinely, help me out with my English.
Wonderful. A new
Well,
child
what does
soldier,
reneged mean?
subscriber.
There you go. Be like Chronos Sequinox. Very nice name, by the way. Chronos Sequinox. Holy shit, it's really good. Thank you for the sub with Prime. Be like Chrono. Watch no ads. Go back out. Okay, backing out. Okay, backing out. Yeah, the Hamas, who has actively negotiated since the beginning, wants to back out. Hamas, who had their main negotiator assassinated, okay, is the one that wants to back out. Thank you, Toasty. Subbing on mobile comes with a $2 surcharge. What, Toasty? Why are you taking money out of my pocket, motherfucker? I'm joking. No, of course. It makes much more sense if you were on mobile to open a computer and do it there.
15 months of fighting in the Gaza Strip and free dozens of hostages in an effort to gain concessions. According to the Israeli Prime Minister,
the $2 goes to Apple. Fuck that shit. No. Woo wah.
Office, the Israeli cabinet will not convene until the mediators notify Israel that Hamas has accepted all elements of the agreement. The Prime Minister's office did not elaborate. A senior Hamas official says that Hamas is committed to the ceasefire agreement.
And David Ignatius, let's talk about that for just half a second. And we're going to outline the contours of the deal. But just for people waking up this morning hearing this news, the truth is that Benjamin Netanyahu is taking it from the most right-wing, most orthodox elements of his coalition. So I must say, when I was reading that last night, I expected some sort of...
Thank you, Hypercept, for the 2 months. Thank you very much.
Pushback from Netanyahu, sort of to try to flex so his government didn't collapse, because the hardliners on the far right were talking about trying to undermine his government. Maybe that's his way of doing it this morning. What can you tell us?
So, Joe, after so many months of fighting, so much suffering for both Israel and the Palestinians.
Both side this. Yes, we want to both side this so hard.
You can't help but rejoice in this news that there's finally going to be a ceasefire. 42 days, not a permanent ceasefire.
No, it's called a peace fire.
Fire yet. And the release of the hostages who've been held so cruelly, they'll begin to come out, if all holds, on Sunday, begin to reunite with their families, including...
Okay, we love Israel. I get it. We love it.
Americans,
oh, my God.
Israel
number one. I love
very
much.
Very
much. Israel good. Yes, I love.
What's held this up for so many months are the details of precisely who the Hamas fighters are holding.
Oh my God! There you go. We're only going to talk about the fucking the Israeli prisoners, of course, not the Palestinian prisoners. Netanyahu is sabotaging the ceasefire deal by changing the terms of the agreement last minute. Bibi is demanding the IDF does not reduce its presence in the Philadelphia corridor in phase 1 or withdraw by day 50, the exact opposite of the agreement. No end to war until Hamas agrees to Israel achieving the war's objectives of destroying Hamas as a militant group, disarming Gaza, and deposing the local government. Oh, no, nobody's going to agree to the second one. The first one's also not doable, but yeah, you know. But no, this is directly like completely sabotaging it.
Wonderful, a new child soldier. Subscriber.
Both issues are not in the signed agreement. See below, Netanyahu is deliberately adding them last minute to ruin the ceasefire deal. Thank you, Jokula. Pichka ti materina. Thank you so much, Jokula. I love you, Jokula. 1 whole year of much love. The Prime Minister's office announced on Thursday morning that the IDF would now withdraw from the Philadelphia corridor during the first phase of the hostage deal. Contrary to misleading reports, Israel is now withdrawing from the Philadelphia corridor. Israel will remain in Phase A of the corridor for the entire 42-day period, the statement said. The scope of the forces will remain. The agreement stipulates the Israeli side will gradually reduce the forces in the corridor area during Stage 1 based on accompanying maps and the agreement between both sides. After the last hostage release of Stage 1 on day 42, the Israeli forces will begin to withdraw and complete it no later than day 50. I've never seen a more openly despicable, pathological liar, cheap manipulator like Netanyahu. He's so openly destroying the deal in front of everyone's eyes and gambling with the lives of the hostages. It's baffling why the U.S. supports him so desperately till the end. Let's see. This is a tweet for now. Let's see. To them, there's no such thing as Palestinian prisoners. There's only terrorists, of course. Thank you, Jericho, one more time. I'm furious that Kendall Jenner won't get any credit for her role in the ceasefire talks after giving them a Pepsi.
Wonderful, a new child soldier. Subscriber.
Absolute classic. Never change, chat. Never change. Thank you, Spudsmack. Thank you very much. Welcome to the community, friend. I mean, listen, I don't think they'll be able to sabotage it even if they want. Because at least in the first stage, I'm talking Sunday, and after Sunday, everything chilling the fuck out. For a while at least. There is too much American political power involved. The Israelis are too big of a coward to bite the hand that feeds them, right? And they know, especially with Trump, if they bite their hand, they're going to be cut off from absolutely everything. Does this mean I can't have a cola? No, you can only have a Pepsi. Today it's peace. Yeah, Trump is getting a win with this. He does not want Netanyahu to screw it. And he also loves to cut people off. So let's see. Let's wait until Sunday before we doomer pill or hope pill. That's all I'm saying. By the way, BDS does not end with a ceasefire, of course.
And where
drinking a Pepsi right now, Jokula? I didn't know you caused this ceasefire yourself, Jokula. Yeah, Trump has a big advantage compared to Biden. He cares only about Trump, while Biden really likes doing genocide for the love of the game.
they're held, and I think more important, who Israel will release.
It would be crazy if in our timeline we see an actual embargo in Israel by Donald Trump. Like at that point, I'm like, holy fuck.
Among Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jail.
Hello, Mr. YugopnikTwitch, please. Can you tell me to lock in? I need to lock in. Listen, bro. I want you to take this hand. I want you to take this hand, and I want them to go like this. And then when they squeeze hard like this, I want you to then close them in a unified fist. I want your fingers to start getting blue. And I want you to say, locked in. Okay? Okay, locked in. Very good. Are you happy?
Jails. Officials say there will be hundreds of Palestinians coming out.
You're welcome, fat Mexican child.
That
is their name.
Hostages are released. How many of those will be people carrying life sentences for having murdered Israelis? Or say there will be hundreds of Palestinians coming out as the hostages are released. How many of those will be people carrying life sentences for having murdered Israelis? That's the kind of thing that is.
What about vice versa? What about vice versa? What about vice versa? Hi! What about vice versa? What about vice versa?
Israelis may be studying at the last minute. They've gone over literally every name on this list as they've come down to the final negotiations. I think the thing that worries me, Joe, most about this deal is that there still is not in Israel a clear sense of what the day after the end of this war will look like.
Oh, chat. Israel does not know what the day after this war would look like. That is the big question. Not the people who exist in basically what used to be a city. Not the people that exist in a desert of rubble. Not the people that on average have buried between 30 and 40% of their wider family. we must feel for the Israelis, for they do not know what the next day will bring. Maybe on their way to get latte from Starbucks number 750. Crazy Palestinian man jump out and say, oh, you don't get latte. I kill, you don't get latte. Who will think of the Israeli raves? Will there be Israeli raves in the coming year? Because the war has stopped. Oh my God, who will think of these? Who will think of Italy after it declares capitulation because of the Americans moving through Sicily in 1945? Who will think of the Italians? Блядь.
Like, that's something the U.S. has been pressing for many months, and to me, the details still aren't clear, which means that Gaza is going to be a lawless place, a messy.
By the way, and if anybody in YouTube chat, because I'm only reading Twitch chat, you have two options. If you want me to interact with you guys, come over on good old Twitch. You have the link in the description. Or if you send me a super chat, I will read that because I am greedy and poisoned by capitalism. Indeed, indeed.
Ungoverned place for a long while to come.
So let's talk about some of those details. If
Well,
this
yeah,
deal
it's
does
going to be ungoverned. That's good. That's going to be so much worse than being governed by literal bombs falling on head. I absolutely love
hold, it would have several phases. Phase 1 would begin on Sunday and last for 42 days. During that time, 33 hostages would be freed by Hamas. 2 of those are expected to be Americans. In return, Israel would release 100 Palestinian prisoners serving life sentences and 1,000 other prisoners not involved in the October 7th attacks. It also would provide a large amount of humanitarian aid to Gaza, 600 trucks a day, and allow for hospitals.
Thank you, Carmen Margot. Yugopnik was the lead negotiator, of course, of course. That's one of my favorites. It's so edgy, though. Can I open it somehow? Copy 3x link. It's but I can't even one of my favorite fucking picks. I'm scared of myself in this bitch. Okay, oof.
Hospitals and health.
Well, you guys taught me what's the sexuality when you're attracted to yourself. No more raves next to Auschwitz. The West has fallen truly.
Care centers in the enclave to be rebuilt. Future phases aim to bring a permanent end to the war, with remaining hostages and soldiers exchanged, Israeli forces withdrawing, and reconstruction in Gaza beginning. Let's bring in NBC News chief foreign correspondent
Self-Gunner, narcissism.
Richard Engel, live from Jerusalem. Richard, what more can you tell us about?
Where are your journalists over in Gaza, my bro? Why don't you have a single journalist over in Gaza, my bro? Why don't you interview somebody in Gaza, my bro? My bro? I wonder, my bro.
About this, how it came together and how long it may hold.
Because they get murdered. Yeah, I wonder by who, my bro. Maybe by the guys who they are interviewing actively, my bro.
Well, things are already looking quite difficult. So today, this morning, there was supposed to be a meeting by...
Because, yeah, chat, exactly, lesbian hot sauce. Because if they went into Gaza, they would become a journalist Hamas. If you are a journalist in Gaza, you're immediately Hamas. If you're a child in Gaza, you're a child Hamas. If you're a woman in Gaza, you're a woman Hamas. If you are a water in Gaza, you are a water Hamas. If you are a building in Gaza, you are infrastructure Hamas. If you are poop on street in Gaza, you are poop Hamas. Oh, God.
Held by Israeli.
If you are IDF soldier in Gaza, you are IDF Hamas. Proceeds to kill himself. Thank you, Comrade Margot, for the 5 gifties. Paint the chat blue, baby. And that is the 10th gifty. That means, baby, especially for the new people from YouTube joining us now, another 5 gift subs for me because I love money, but I hate ads more. And nobody should watch any of those. That even rhymed. Holy fucking shit. There you go. Have my money. Have my money. Fuck ads, bro. Fuck ads. The only place on the entirety of Twitch where this actually happens, bro. Hell to the yeah.
Wonderful, a new
Yeah,
child
yeah.
soldier. I mean,
Gaza is
forever.
all hummus. Absolutely. I want to eat. No, Hugo, don't eat Gaza. I'm going to eat Gaza. No, Hugo, don't eat Gaza. But they keep telling me it's hummus.
A new
I'm going to
child
eat all of
soldier.
Gaza. No,
Forever.
Hugo, don't eat Gaza. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, nom, nom. Too late. I have eaten Gaza. Nom, 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 nom. Oh, son of a bitch.
Wonderful, a new
He's Prime
child
Minister
soldier.
Benjamin
I mean,
Netanyahu with his
forever.
security cabinet, and they were supposed to formally ratify the deal. That meeting has been postponed. Some Israeli media are saying it's going to be held tonight, although
Wonderful,
that's
a new
not
child
entirely
soldier. I mean,
confirmed.
forever.
The Israeli Prime Minister's office hasn't given an explicit reason why the meeting has been
One more
postponed.
time, thank you, Comrade Margot.
Just accusing Hamas of trying to renege on the deal. But as
I look away for half a moment and he starts making Muppet sounds. And I want to eat the hummus. Nom, 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 nom. Do you think Bibi is going to go get thrown back in jail after ceasefire officially goes through? He will not have a career after this, even in Israel. Long term, next 10 years, Bibi is together with all the American puppet presidents in Miami fucking golfing and eating KFC. That's Bibi in the next decade. Miami golfing.
as David Ignatius was saying just a short while ago, it does seem to be focused on the issue of Palestinian prisoners. Which Palestinian prisoners could be released? Who has the ultimate veto power of releasing Palestinian prisoners? Hamas has a list of names. Israel is objecting to some of those names. So until this is signed, it's not going forward.
Prisoners for me, hostages for thee.
But the good news is it doesn't seem to be off. No one has said that the deal isn't happening. No one is saying that the deal has been called off. It just isn't.
It's not going to get called off because it has the Trump seal of approval, and that motherfucker will literally rain down fire on you if you make him look silly and stupid in front of his wider audience. The dude wants a medal. He wants medals like all over his body. The dude yearns to be a DPRK general. Okay, you know DPRK generals? DPRK general. Okay, this is what Trump dreams of. Okay, he wants to walk around like this. Okay. Trump wants to walk around like this, and that is the only reason why he's pushing for ceasefire, okay? And the crazy thing about how history works is that in 100 years, nobody will remember like his insanely sexist stuff, the fact that he's a fucking rapist, the shit he's done against reproductive rights for women, etc., etc. They will unironically positively remember him for the ceasefire as long as it fully goes through. That's usually how history works. We condense a lot of information because ain't nobody studying all the policies of the president, bro.
Being ratified yet until they can work out these last minute details. And it is not supposed to go into effect until Sunday.
But you know, it deserves to be said that everybody was like, my red line for why I'm not voting Democrats is because they're supporting a genocide. And the Democrats said, if we don't support the genocide, we will lose this election. It is impossible to win this election without supporting the genocide. They proceed to support the genocide. They proceed to lose the election. Then the guy they lost to shows up after the election and says, oh yeah, we're doing a ceasefire now and shit. Like, fuck you. He's the product of his time. No, for sure. And he is. That's the irony. He is. Every leader is a product of his time. But it is the job of us as, progressives, leftists, communists, anarchists, etc., to redefine what a product of our time is for our time, in the time that we live in. But in retrospective, once a particular era ends, it is not a reactionary analysis. Quite to the contrary. That's fucking dialectical materialism. They are a product of their time. Doesn't mean they shouldn't be judged. That doesn't mean we shouldn't use the argument. We should use the argument that, they were a product of the time, not to judge them for certain things. The way people are like, George Washington had slaves, just a product of his time. Indeed, indeed. No, of course not. We learn from those aspects, but we also realize that leaders of particular countries are products of the systems in which they find themselves in. Trump getting a Peace Prize out of this would be hysterical. Biden seething in his retirement home. If this goes through, he's definitely getting a Peace Prize. That's the funny thing. He is. He's getting a Peace Prize.
So there's still
almost like there was no fucking point to vote Democrat. Not almost, bro.
is a little bit of time. There's also ongoing military operations. There were heavy strikes by Israel into Gaza overnight. And according to local medical officials, 71 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza just since this deal was announced.
Product of their time, looks at the time genocidal empire. Absolutely. But what do we as Marxists do in our analysis? The leader was a genocidal psychopath because that is what a genocidal empire wanted. It was not the leader that created a genocidal empire, but a genocidal empire that chose a leader that represents the current ideological mainstream defined by the domestic material conditions to lead them. We do not believe in, fucking herder, one guy comes, he hits the table and he changes the course of history. Not how the world works. If that's what you believe, that's fine. Just, go and enjoy fiction because that is not the real world, brother.
Yesterday, and according to the
Yugopnik, because I'm cooking.
those Palestinian
Let me cook!
medical officials, the majority of them were women and
I always cook, except when I get fucking interrupted, like I'm going to get interrupted in 1 minute and 20 seconds by an ad. If you would like to support the show and piss on those ads, whip that beautiful thick dick or clit out and piss on them ads, they do consider becoming a sub for $6 a month for free through Prime, or gifting to those less privileged than you. And for everything gifties, I give another $5.
Children. So just a few hours after the deal was announced during the period of darkness.
And I know you do not piss from the clit, for fuck's sakes. I just piss from the pee hole of your vagina. Like, it would be too long, so I had to say clit.
Here or last night, local time.
I don't, God fucking damn it, you pieces of shit. Well, I was supposed to say a full sentence for the vagina havers on how to piss.
It is now sort of mid-morning, late morning here in Israel. There's already quite a high death toll. The Israelis...
Yes, thank you. You pee from your butt. Listen, women pee from their clit, and vagina havers pee from their clit, and penis havers store pee in their bowls. I will die on both of those hills. Thank you very much.
Haven't signed it. Hamas says that they never tried to change the terms of the deal. They're asking for the Americans to intervene and resolve this problem. They're accusing Prime Minister...
Vagina havers don't fart or shit. Vagina havers never poop. That is a myth shared by misogynist dogs that hate vagina havers and that believe they are somehow as disgusting as penis havers. No, absolutely no poops.
Netanyahu of looking for an excuse. So
I respect your beliefs. Passive aggressive here. Listen, these are straight facts. If you don't agree, then go take a shit or something. Disgusting motherfucking penis haver. God, I'm stopping. This is getting ridiculous.
That he doesn't have to go forward to this deal so that he can placate members of his right-wing coalition. There are problems already a few hours after the deal, but so far the problems seem to be on a, I don't want to call manageable scale, but no one has called it off. No one has walked away. No one has said the deal is dead, and we still have until Sunday.
All right, NBC's Richard Engel, as always, thank you so much for your reporting. We greatly appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate it with greatness. Let's. Okay, is this the full thing? Wait, there's a longer analysis of it. Hell to pay. Biden gives Trump no credit. Oh, Trump, Biden in farewell address. Okay, let's do this.
Hours after.
Let's look at the MSNBC glazing off the thick boy. The thick dick boy, Biden. Let's
Announcing the ceasefire agreement, President Biden delivered his.
You see, Yugopnik, I'm a lobster. So what? You believe in hierarchy, and you always fix your bed in the morning. Indeed, indeed, indeed. We rarely talk about, how much toxicity, transphobia, and misogyny, and recently also racism, Jordan Peterson has shared, has embedded into the minds of many young men, women, and NBs. But we rarely talk about this incredible stereotype he has created in our heads when it comes to lobsters. I will never look at lobsters the same way again. Nowadays, I see a lobster somewhere on the internet because I don't eat fucking sea cockroaches, you disgusting savages, and pay like $100 for them. What the fuck is wrong with you people? And I immediately think Jordan Peterson. Like I immediately associate lobster to Jordan Peterson, which is almost on par as his misogyny, racism, and bigotry.
Farewell address to the nation, capping 4 years in the White House as president and more than 5 decades in.
Same for me, but for Kermit, I can't unsee it. Oh my God. Now you shoved it in my head, bro. Fuck. Now it's in my head. Now I'm going to, oh my God. That is awful, dude.
Politics. Speaking from the Oval Office, Biden touted his legacy, but also issued a series of stark warnings to the country as he prepares to cede power to President-elect Trump.
I love farewell speeches by U.S. presidents because most of them go like this. While I was here, shit was popping off. But now that I'm leaving, very bad shit could happen. Shit that I could have stopped because I was president for 4 years, but I didn't. So now I'm going to say that I'm afraid that this is going to be a really bad thing that will pop off. It's going to be really bad. Please don't remind me that I was president for 4 years and I could have actually done something about it, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of my passive-aggressive farewell speech. Yes, absolutely. Where am I? Is this the Cold War? Where the fuck is that motherfucker Brezhnev? Okay, that was a farewell speech adapted to my boy.
I want to warn the
Biden.
country of some things that give me great concern.
Wonderful, a new child.
This is a dangerous and that's a dangerous concentration of power.
Thank you, Jew 6666 for the 7 months. I hear 666 is very good in China.
In the hands of.
And somebody asked if you're gonna post on Red Note. I really want to. First, I'm gonna start posting on Red Note, and maybe with the deprogram guys, I can figure something out. There's just too much stuff to do.
Very few ultra wealthy people.
Oh wow.
The dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked.
Yo, bro, stop copying Bernie's fucking homework, bro. Holy shit, dude.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead.
Good morning, Sherlock. It is very nice to meet you. Taking shape. Oh, wow. If only someone could have done something to help stop this. Who is responsible for this?
I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well.
He's literally stop copying Bernie's homework. The dude said this in 2016, my guy. The dude was literally saying this in 2016. It's the meme, the guy on the street, screaming about something for years. And then it happens. It's not about to happen. It happens. And all the people that were passing him by and being man, this guy's fucking whack. What the fuck is he talking about? Are now sitting in restaurants and are yo, bro, I have a secret to tell you. Don't you see what's really happening? And you're like, yeah, because it's actually happening. This is not analysis. You're just like pointing at a red tree and you're like, that tree is red. Like, I'm afraid of forming all. It's formed, bro. It's a formed. It's a very much a formed. And did your government give a couple of fucking hundreds of billions of dollars to Tesla in the beginning of your government's period? I don't know. I get so ill seeing Biden, like they pulled him at any point. I'd have been happy, but no Biden in all 4 years, and now it's too late to pull. And this is our fucking president. I mean, no longer, I guess.
Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit. We must hold the social platforms accountable to protect our children, our families.
We must hold our social platforms accountable, like MySpace and iMessages and Facebook. Those are the ones, right? They are coming for the platforms. Fucking hell.
Our very democracy from the abuse of power. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence.
In Vine, I have heard down the Vine that Vine might go bankrupt.
The most consequential technology of our time, perhaps of all time. Nothing offers more profound possibilities and risks for our economy.
Yeah, that's why I'm banning TikTok. That's why I'm banning the one platform where people's voices could actually be heard, where progressive opinions were the mainstream, where young people with an actual vision for the future that is not governed by despotic zombie oligarchs was spread far and wide. The only platform that made it feel like it's not all coming apart at the seams in front of our eyes. That's what your government made sure gets banned. And motherfucker out here be like, man, on these platforms it's super fucked up. How there's all like fact checking and all this censorship, man. Also like ban the only platform that like allowed us to do any of this. Billionaires grew by 88% in his term. I'm not even joking. Thank you, Moral. If you have a link, that would be sick. That's by 88%. Guy sells crack. Guy says, we have a crack problem in our community. Oh.
And our security, our society. Unless safeguards are in place.
Yeah, probably if you tell them about the 88%, you're going to be like, yeah, but under a different president, it would have grown much more.
AI could spawn new threats to our rights, our way of life, to our privacy, how we work and how we protect our nation. We must make sure AI is safe and trustworthy and good for all humankind. We need to amend the
all humankind, as long as it's run by servers that we own and created and developed by companies that have their seats of leadership in the United States and also contribute to the military-industrial complex because we love them fucking autopilot drones. Well, I am really up for technology developing, except when it's a foreign company, then fuck that shit, bro. What about Chinese EVs, bro? What about Chinese EVs, bro? Don't you want American citizens to be able to buy like a car for like $16,000 that has most of the fucking extras and shit and is an EV?
Constitution.
Joe, describe how AI works right now. Joe, describe how the clitoris works right now. One I'll give to him, he's probably he's good in bed. I don't know. I have a feeling that Joe Biden kind of fucks. Joe Biden kind of fucks. His wife looks very happy, even at this late stage. He lays the pipe. He lays the pipe.
To make clear that no president.
Yes, that is in your head now. That is in your head now, and you will have to keep that in your head. Joe Biden laying pipe.
No president is immune from crime.
He had a lot of years of experience. He's got a massive dong, I've heard. Yeah. Probably better than you, Hugo. Probably. I mean, I don't have like 130 years of experience, bro.
That he or she commits while in office. The president's power is not limited. It's not absolute, and it shouldn't be. After 50 years of public service, I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure.
None of this means anything.
Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too. God bless you all. And may God protect our troops.
Oh my God, it feels like he wants to fuck me, dude. Wait, I got an idea, chat. I got an idea. YouTube listeners, this will probably get blocked on you because YouTube is fucking stupid with fucking censorship of anything musical. 80s porn music. Okay. Okay. Get ready, chat. Get ready to be. Oof. There we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
The character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too. God bless you all. And may God protect our troops. Thank you for this great honor.
Tell me that didn't work. Tell me that did not work like oomph. That works so good. That works so good, bro. Yeah, please keep my flame strong and high.
Jonathan Lemire, it's always
that landed perfectly. Thank you, chat. You skipped over the part where he says, we don't fight this by going after every rich oligarch, but the bad ones like in the Civil War. What? You're fucking with me. You didn't say he said that? What? Oh. I hate that he will die before any meaningful repercussion. I hate that these people will never feel any suffering. All we will get is some biography about how distraught he was during this time. Dude, history judges us all. That is the most important judge and prisoner. Physical prison is super fucked up, but it is, physical. Being remembered for the rest of your species' existence as a dog is the harshest of punishments.
Hard to figure out what will last, what will fall by the wayside as the years go by. But certainly with the rise of AI, hard not to imagine that his warning, again, his Eisenhower-like warning against the tech industrial complex, as
again, like what I said earlier, why didn't you do something about it? The only tech this guy did anything about is the one app the entirety of America agreed about really liking, and that's TikTok. He's like, man, AI is going to fuck us up, man. The rich people from Silicon Valley going to fuck us up. It's all going to shit. Ban TikTok. Do you think TikTok is like a fancy way of saying artificial intelligence? Like artificial intelligence.
As the power of AI rises, largely unregulated, and as Silicon Valley grows more powerful.
Joe, Silicon Valley is growing more powerful. Joe, the Israelis are misusing our taxpayer money to get trillions of dollars worth of munitions and weaponry to kill more Palestinians. That sounds horrible. We should ban TikTok.
By the moment, again, largely unregulated. And the leaders there line up to make sure that Donald Trump will not have any need to go after them.
Thank you, pandas. Okay, this is the part they cut.
More than a century ago, but the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trusts. They didn't punish the wealthy.
I was like, you were copying, he was copying Bernie's homework, but like always, if you copy the homework and you don't know anything about what's being talked about, but you want to paraphrase it because otherwise the teacher's going to catch you. So you need to paraphrase it and immediately loses the whole point of what was of what was being said, my brother.
Just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to.
Make the massive three-headed lion snake play with the rabbits.
Workers want rights to earn their fair share. They were dealt into the deal, and it helped put us on a path to building the.
Yeah, the only way for you to get your fair share is if your boss doesn't take the surplus labor. Do 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 dum do 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 dum do 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 dum dum da da dum. What are you, a fucking communist?
The largest middle class, the most prosperous century any nation in the world has ever seen. And we've got to do that again. In the last 4 years, that is exactly what we've.
Hey, Joe. The empire is falling. Remember when it was good? Yeah, we got to do that again. How, Joe? I don't know. Just keep doing the same thing, and somehow it's going to get better. Oh, man.
Done. People should be able to make as much as they can, but play by the same rules. Pay their fair share of taxes. So much is at stake. Right now, the existential threat of climate change has never been clearer. Just look across the country, from California to North Carolina. That's why I signed the most significant climate.
Look, climate change bad, but profit motive that causes climate change good. I say words, but they mean things.
Clean energy law ever in the history of the world, and the rest of the world is trying to model it now.
China walks into the room. Shobya. What? Shobya. What? What?
It's working, creating jobs and industries.
China again, like, what was this? What?
Of the future.
What, little bro, what?
Now, we've proven we don't have to choose between protecting the environment and growing the economy.
Again, China, bro, what, bro, yo, bro, what?
We're doing both.
Again, China, yeah, definitely, little bro. You're good for you, little bro. Just keep pushing it. One day you'll be like me, little bro. Just keep at it. Grind sesh. You'll be good.
The powerful forces want to wield their unchecked influence to eliminate the steps we've taken to tackle the climate crisis, to serve their own interest for power and profit.
Yeah, because they're motivated by profit. What you just previously said is okay as long as you pay your taxes. The greatest curse of being a socialist is not to sound too cocky. No, fuck it, I will. I'm about to glaze you all up here. The greatest curse of being a socialist is literally just being the smartest person in every fucking room. I'm sorry. I know you're about to come. Too much glaze. But I don't want, for example, this is incredibly idiotic, what you just said. And the only reason you all know this is incredibly idiotic is because you're socialists. It's like, and this is supposed to be like an incredible gift. Ha ha! Very smart, very good. But as we all know, ignorance is bliss. But also, as we all know, and we always say on this channel, bliss is hella fucking overrated.
We must not be bullied into sacrificing the future of our
Gabriel, thank you. All socialists are some kind of nerds. Yeah, brother.
children and our grandchildren. We must keep pushing forward and push faster. There's no
Vote for Republicans and Dems or 5,000 IQ. Which way, Western man? Somebody give a sub to Vagrant R21.
time to waste. It's also clear that American leadership in technology is an unparalleled source of innovation that can transform lives.
Okay, we heard this before. Thank you, Pandas, for giving me the part that they very conveniently cut out of his speech. And they kept the one where he was like,
Wonderful, a new child
wealthy
soldier,
oligarchs bad,
subscriber.
but they didn't keep the one where he was like, but our wealthy oligarchs good, I think. Thank you, Political Smack, for gifting to Vagrant. Thank you very much. And if you want to be like Political Smack and support this channel further and avoid the ad that is going to play in 2 minutes and 5 seconds, do consider painting my chat box purple and becoming a sub for $6 a month, less in certain countries, or free through Prime. Or also, if you want me to go bankrupt, for every 10 gift subs you give, I give 5. So the choice is yours. Thank you very much.
To regulate them, to have the government doing what I think most Americans would want the government to do, having some sort of oversight role.
Yeah, like you know, like what government could have like done that? Like the government that is now leaving government.
That warning seems
Jadna sve reklame, kurva.
prescient. It seems like something we may be looking back on 20, 30 years from now with regret that more people didn't listen, just like more people didn't listen.
Why do these people look like vampires? You're seeing white people for the first time? Yeah, it's a scary experience for me too.
To Dwight,
Just left YouTube for you, Daddy. You go, yeah, baby, all YouTube viewers, come over here, brother. Come over here, because we keep getting fucking sabotaged over on YouTube. But I will start streaming on there for people that don't have access to Twitch from particular countries, but very welcome. If you want me to read your comments, super chat away, and I will read it. But yes, you're very welcome to Twitch.
Eisenhower.
Yeah, that's clearly the takeaway line here in this remark.
The United States had 614 billionaires who owned a combined wealth of $2.947 trillion. 4 years later, on March 18th, 2024, the country has 737 billionaires. That is 20% over how much they had before Biden, with a combined wealth of $5.529 trillion. Holy fucking shit. That is, as we've learned earlier, an 88% increase year over year. An 87.6% increase of 2.58 trillion. My beautiful children, incredible. Do you think with beginning of the new mandate of Trump, a new fascist wave will come? They're not as excited as they were with the first presidency, so not as much. It's going to be a continuation of things as is, but a little bit worse for the average American. Yeah, though we might get surprises like literal wars ending, so I don't know. I'm like weirdly skeptically optimistic.
Remarkable speech. And there are two distinct themes last night the president delivered from the Oval Office. The first was sort of a love letter to the country, talking about the Statue of Liberty and
it's been an oligarchy so long, it's now a gerontocracy. I can't even pronounce it.
those who built it and what it means
Not old enough.
for the nation. I'd say his own story was sprinkled in there a little bit. You could see the pictures behind him there on the desk, including his late son, Beau Biden. He talked about how he still loves America and believes in its future, and a defense somewhat of his record. And you could tell he made pointedly clear that he believes his team deserves the lion's share of the credit for this ceasefire deal in Gaza. But Joe, you're right. Much of the speech was fairly dark and a real warning. He used the word oligarchs. Oligarchs for the United States of America. He didn't name names, but it's pretty clear that some of these tech leaders surrounding Donald Trump right now were in his sights. He did talk indeed about the tech.
Yeah, that's why he didn't do anything about them for 4 years, because he was indirectly hoping that they would help him instead of the other one.
Industrial complex, invoking Dwight Eisenhower.
He's doing the biggest classic, when they call Chinese rich people or Russian rich people or Indian rich people oligarchs. The classic, our good guys are just rich people and billionaires and successful men and women. Theirs are oligarchs. So, the very rich people that support the Republicans, no longer successful members of a thriving society, oligarchs.
Famous farewell speech that included, of course, the worries about AI. He talked.
Internationally talking, I'm scared. My country is about to vote a far-right guy who said that French supporters of Hitler in World War II were heroes to this country. Yeah, in other countries it might be a little bit more intense. I don't know what. Tell me which country in particular.
About the need
Monolith
to
knows all. Hello, abortion now.
End the United States still. And David Ignatius,
No, you don't understand. When big tech backs the Dems, they are pillars of the economy. When they switch, they become oligarchs. Exactly what I mean.
50 years, a 50-year public.
Romania, yeah, that's pretty fucked. Yeah.
Career in public service. From the Senate, the vice presidency, the president. A lot of personal heartache.
Keep in mind that in most cases, such as, like, for example, Javier Milei, while he has made the country much worse, he doesn't exactly govern like a proper, far-right libertarian. He just governs like a regular neoliberal. A lot of these people, don't necessarily believe what they're saying. They just want to get into power and then continue taking money, usually from the West, sometimes also from the East, to keep impoverished small countries impoverished and small. But it doesn't always go that way. The irony there with smaller states, even though Romania is a pretty big country, but the irony there with smaller states is they're not really a factor. So even if the guy who comes into power is a crazy dude that wants conflict and wants to do fucked up shit to domestic minorities, he doesn't really have as much independence from larger international power structures that would allow him to do so, right? For example, you would have to be a really, really good friend with the U.S. to start doing like semi-genocide on your people. Think Duterte in the Philippines, etc., etc. I don't think Romania has that kind of relationship with anyone that would allow the president to do it. But again, long conversation. To be fair, the Romanian Nazis were by far the most watered-down, chill Nazis of all the Nazis. That's a sentence, bro. Not that I'm supporting Nazis. I'm just saying Romanians are inherently decent people. So even if the fuck up, it's not going to be that bad. I don't know about that, bro. Maybe. I don't know about that. The chillest Nazi is a dead one. That's my opinion. Doesn't matter what scale of Nazi. The only chill Nazi is that one. But I'm not judging you. I understand what you tried to say. But my local business podcast, Say Milei, is good for economia. Of course, yeah. Guy proceeds to literally inflate the fucking domestic currency, scraps absolutely all spending on any fucking social system or administrative system they have in the government, increases relation to dollar, and somehow economy good.
A new child
The irony, and literally Ben Empanada told me this, the irony if you're Argentina now is that, yes, since Milei came into power, you would be wealthier if you left Argentina. because now you make more dollars, but Argentina has become incredibly expensive. So you might be making more USD after conversion of currency. You still can't spend them on anything in the country. But if you go to a neighboring country that has lower prices, which doesn't mean it's poor, just has lower prices, sometimes it actually means it's very well managed if it has lower prices, you can be wealthier. So the joke is, Milei has given the Argentinian people a great reason to leave Argentina. Thank you, Albandis Fata. Thank you very much for the 10 months. Albandis, one of the fucking OGs here in chat. Thank you very much for your support. Let's get to that beautiful 2,000, chat. Let's get to that beautiful 2,000.
Here at the end, obviously disappointment that his mission was to defeat Donald Trump, which he did.
Yugopnik, have you played Stalker? I've played all the Stalker games, but I don't have a PC, so I can't play the current one, nor do I have an Xbox. Milei, I have no problem with the Argentinian ruling class. My enemy is the Argentinian people.
A strong legislative record for a time, but then to relinquish the stage again and ahead of Donald Trump's return. What were some of your takeaways last night from his address, but in particular, that stark warning?
Rip, hopefully you can get a PC one day. Let's hit that like 3,000 subbies one day, and why the fuck not? I'm buying that shit. I mean, I bought the Mac for the streams, but like a year ago. But now that becoming a full-time streamer, man, maybe I will be able to afford it.
Warning about the tech industrial complex, one that I believe is how this speech will be remembered.
I think that was the signature line. To me, the irony of his warning is that these tech leaders, until very recently, for the most part, have been seen as supporters of the Democratic Party.
There you go, dude. Guy is saying the... He's saying the quiet part out loud. He is saying the quiet part out loud. Oh, dude. Let's see.
Silicon Valley had been a stronghold of liberal views, and that, in an extraordinary way, has flipped in the last year.
And that is why he's now calling them oligarchs, because they're no longer on his party side. Thank you, based white man.
As prominent people, Mark Zuckerberg of Meta, Jeff Bezos, the head of Amazon, the person who owns the Washington Post, where I work.
I don't know. There was like a guy that looked like, I'm not sure, I think like Santa Claus, and he had another guy that looked like Santa Claus on steroids. And they said like, I don't know, a strange thing about how when the wealthiest members of a particular society see that their profit rates aren't increasing as much as they expect them to, they will no longer support the government, the liberal governments which control the people through electoralism and mere speech and talk of a better future, but instead they would pivot to those that can extract far more from the wider populace through the usage of the boot. I don't know who those guys were, what they were talking about, what this sort of argument was. There was also a yellow guy, a guy that was actually white, but in all of the videos he appeared yellow. He was talking something like pink shirts and blues, I think. It was I don't know, strange people making these arguments that were shouted in your fucking faces forever. But no, we, the United States government and the wider United States population, will continue doing things the same way we've always done things, and we expect nothing to change. And the billionaires who are slowly hemorrhaging money because of international competition will most definitely not try to fight that international competition by utilizing the state, both against the international competition and the domestic population, from which we want to take the very little that they have been allowed to have in terms of good old state-funded amenities. Milei is great. He encourages Argentinians to travel. You don't like permanent tourism? When you were little, you always asked your parents to take you to Disneyland. In what way do you see the boot turning inwards in the next 4 years? It's very gradual. It's very gradual. The boot turning inwards, you're going to see a lot of privatization. That's the most important one. And people are going to start getting pissed off about the privatization. You will have protests, and then the boot will quite literally come out on the street to make sure those opinions are not heard, if you know what I mean. But yes, it's privatization, privatization, privatization. In the case of the United States, because it has a federal bank and its own domestic currency, it's basically like printing out and giving free money to corporations, even more than before, right? Because the United States already kind of doesn't have much to privatize because everything is pretty much privatized. It's not a country, it's a corporation. Now you'll just see them literally just giving out money. Like giving out money to big tech, to big oil, etc., etc. That's the next step I see of the boot, which will just increase the contradictions, snake eating its own ass. Increase the contradictions, increase the contradictions, increase the contradictions, which will put more and more people out on the streets, which will make the state react with greater intensity, which will make the alternative to the boot also even more reactionary because it cannot adapt to material realities because it refuses to talk about class. And you have the slow death of a state, death of an empire, which in its death rattle either hopefully embraces a class-conscious direction and readjusts, aka the crumbling Russian Empire during World War I, or goes bananas, aka Weimar Germany, post World War I. Those are your two. Which way, American man? These are your two choices. You guys fucking pick, and the rest of us will have to deal with your choices. They say.
Others in the tech industry have really embraced Trump, come to support his ideas. So I think it's that movement that's troubling President Biden. This tech industrial complex is at once the key to our future prosperity, our ability to come to support his ideas. So I think it's that movement that's troubling President Biden. This tech industrial complex is at once the key to.
So a lot. They're saying the quiet part out loud. They're literally saying we are not concerned about certain people amassing so much wealth that it allows them to manipulate our political system. Instead, we don't like them because they are using their wealth, privilege, and power to manipulate the political system in a way we don't agree with. MSNBC, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you heard the same thing I heard. I'm not being an unhinged fucking commie here or some shit. Just saying it. What would get you called out on Twitter for being like a stupid dumbass? For saying shit like, hey, you're just calling, rich people from the East oligarchs because they don't support the American empire. And they're like, dude, what the fuck? No, they're very different to our billionaires, bro, because it's a very different system, bro. Now you have the president of America literally doing that in front of your face. And somehow it still feels borderline conspiratorial to say it because I've been so gaslit into not believing in what I'm saying. Mr. Trump is the true revolutionary who will proletarianize reactionary intelligentsia and petty bourgeois. Chairman Trump, gulag them all.
To our future prosperity, our ability to be the dominant player in the world, the incredible innovation of our tech sector is one of the wonders of America.
Yeah, that's why you don't let Chinese cars into the country. That's why you're banning a Singaporean app. Yes, this is what a country that knows it's creating the best tech in the world does with other countries' tech. Yes, this is how it works.
And in another sense, a danger whose dimensions we just don't understand very well.
If there ever is a socialist movement in America, it will be an Alexander Shapic moment when there's a right-winger who hates communism but is so politically illiterate, he accidentally nationalizes public transportation and then makes it free and then gives people free preschool and then creates a nationalized industry and a planned economy, but he still really hates those fucking commies. I mean, it doesn't matter what you call it. If it happens, it fucking happens. Let's fucking go. Like, you want me to call myself a, I don't know, an American social chauvinist. I'll fucking salute that fucking flag as long as you know, are creating a society which eventually destroys the concept of the class and unites us all. We call it Trumpism. I don't give a fuck what it's called. But yeah, that's funny. Chilovina mentioned like a guy. I mean, he didn't, nationalize industry yet, but he's basically this like fucking idiot that used to be like a big sportsman guy. So he becomes mayor of Belgrade, and he's like constantly shitting on commies, but he literally made public transportation in the city free, like completely free, which is sick as fuck, which is so fucking nice. But like, dude, how do you juggle those two things in your head? Like, he did two things. He took the buses, from what I remember. Serbs in chat, correct me if I'm wrong. So the buses were red because they used to be red and orange back in evil communism, right? And he painted them blue because now we live in democracy. And he literally said, painted them because I don't want our buses to associate us to those horrible times. And then he made transportation free. Like, he's either playing 4D chess or the very confusing guy. Communist bus, yes, communist bus. Čapić, the mayor of the capital of Serbia, Belgrade. Yeah. So I'm sitting here on the side. I'm like, this piece of shit calling out my communist buses, but then he literally creates a communist bus, which is a bus you ride for free. So like. It's so nice.
Well, yet we see this huge complex, ever more powerful, ever more central to our economy. I would note that President Biden had an opportunity during his presidency to rein in these technology industries, to regulate them more, and generally held back from that. He was pressed by...
Yeah, that's the eternal fucking meme. They're like, we shouldn't be very aggressive with these large industry moguls because they can turn around and support the more reactionary sect of our government, which will lead to even bigger problems. No! You let them do whatever they do. You don't sanction them. Do you know why they still go to the farther right? Because the farther right will not only not sanction them, they will give them money. They will give them even more money than you. There's no winning. You cannot outright the right, you fucking cucks. Holy shit, I fucking hate liberals because they're so fucking stupid, bro. They're so fucking stupid, bro. When you play chess with a liberal, they don't move any of their pieces because they like cancel every move. They're like, oh, I'm canceling my move. I'm canceling my move. I'm canceling my move. Even though that's not really necessarily allowed, because they think if they played, they would be provoking the other side. And then there's higher chances that they lose their king because they're provoking the other side. It's so fucking dumb, but also so scared. And it is that exact fear that fucks them over the head every single time, and yet they never learn the lesson every single time. It is pathetic. Right-wingers are stupid. Liberals are stupid and insufferable. Yeah. And weak. Okay, weak. Right-wingers are weak in the soul, but not weak in action, because they actually do something. They do things. Libs just stay on the side, and they're afraid to move the vase in case it falls. Well, the right-winger is literally playing fucking football with the vase.
By some progressives to do more. He didn't. His most decisive pronouncement on AI.
And the communist is somewhere in the corner screaming about how everyone should have a vase. Oh.
The key technology has been to work with the government for greater safety and transparency, not to suppress the...
Liberal stabs himself. It's the working class. They aren't doing enough. Thank you, Gabriel. New plan. Call it democratic capitalism and do everything communists would do. Absolutely. It is an ingenious idea.
Technology or the leaders. So I think this, at the very end of the speech, what moved me was Biden in that kind of soft, almost wispy voice saying, now it's your turn. And
almost
he has
like
given
he can barely talk.
his whole life to politics, to these public issues that matter so much. Now it's your turn. And he's really...
Yeah, he spent half of his career pretty much criminalizing being black in America. And he spent the second half of his career doing literally nothing and getting a few medals. And then he spent the last 10% of his career somehow being a funnier president than Trump. And then losing to Trump in the most pathetic way we've ever seen. It's sometimes I feel bad because I feel sorry for very, very old people making fun of Biden, but holy fucking shit. If you ever want to find a fail son, look at him.
Saying, I'm worried about some things like these oligarchs. Now you need to deal with them.
Right.
And we'll...
Because I didn't. Not that I couldn't, but I just didn't. Because I thought they were going to be /our/guys.
Of course, two things can be true at once. We talk about the explosion of America's economy, the strength overall of our GDP, our leadership in the world. So much of that does come from Silicon Valley. So much of that does come from our advantage with AI. But it seems a false choice continues to be presented by tech leaders, which is stay off our backs, stay out of our way. We've got this. If you try to regulate us at all, then you're playing right into China's hand. It is an all or nothing argument that, of course, is just not compelling.
Which they listened to, and they did not regulate them. But the other side came to them and they said, not only are we not going to regulate you, we're going to give you political power, we're going to give you money, and we will more aggressively attack any competition. You cannot outright the right. You cannot outright them in economic policy. You cannot outright them in social policy. It's like you're a flower and you're doing your best to smell more like shit, but you're competing with literal shit. Like, you cannot smell like shit more than shit. Because it's shit. And while there's problems with being a flower, big ones, especially because you eventually become poisonous because you want to be like the shit so much. And you believe that it's necessary for all of us to become shit so much that you start like exuding this literal fucking toxic fume, aka, you know, the lib to fascist pipeline. The rest of us are just, dude, I don't want shit or flowers. Oh, I want free healthcare, god fucking damn it, you know? Thank you, Political Smack, you fucking G. Thank you very much for the gifty. Thank you very much for the gifty. Be like Political Smack. And for every 10 gifties, I give another 5. Now we are 9 gift subs away from another 5. That means 9 equal 14 here on YugopnikTwitch. The best deal you have on this platform, because I might love money, but I hate ads more. And we will become the first community of 0 ad watchers here on the platform. Let's go, let's go, let's go. True communism is achieved when 0 ad.
Compelling, but it is compelling to politicians and many people in the incoming administration. It is one of the most powerful tools that humans have ever had their hands on. And the idea that we somehow are going to just turn this over to tech bros in Silicon Valley who are saying, trust us, much like Wall Street bankers were saying, trust us on credit default swaps, doesn't seem too compelling, but that does seem like the world we're going to be living in over the next 4 years.
And you're right, that's the argument they make. If you hamstring us, you're handing the future to China. You're handing the future to other countries, to our adversaries, and you don't want to do that. So put us at the wheel.
Meanwhile,
Clearly,
everybody
many
on
of
Red
them,
Note,
Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos.
Meanwhile, everybody on Red Note fucking quoting Mao Zedong and being like, please take my fucking data. Can you save me? Being like, holy shit, look at the amount of groceries an average Chinese family can buy. Holy shit, look at what their big cities actually look like, bro. New York, is that a fucking village you go visit your grandma in when you want to chill from big city life? Oh.
Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, all going to be at the inauguration with prominent seats behind.
And this isn't like classic China simping on my hand,
new
even though I
child
sometimes
soldier,
do it,
a
and
new
fuck it, I
subscriber.
do it. I'm sympathetic towards China. Fucking kill me. Do I believe they have achieved the ultimate definition of socialism? No, of course not. But I can't help it. Thank you very much, Yormatur. Thank you very much for the sub. So yeah, I'm not saying this from exclusively from a simpy perspective, just from the perspective that why do they all think that the American population gives that much of a fuck about not being number one forever? Because they don't seem to give a fuck. Because number one kind of sucks right now. Everybody be in debt. Nobody be able to get abortion. Everybody be like, holy shit, future super crazy uncertain. And the other half is like herder Mexicans, those pieces of shit. Like, it's, if you're sympathetic to China, can you explain this? Dude, I'm also sympathetic to the American people. I love American culture, for example. I am both sider on this, very hardcore. Da. In American schools, when you finish a magazine, do you reload? China is absolutely cooking us on Red Note.
In the incoming president of the United States, as Donald Trump is
But yes, welcome to the community, Yormathur. Thank you very much for the subby.
sworn in, a clear signal of who they support and who Donald Trump is there to support and who he trusts with our economy. So, Richard, when you think about AI, and there's a lot to talk about in that speech, so take this wherever you want, of Biden's speech last night on foreign policy particularly, but there's been this argument, too, that AI is too big to be-
the cynical Chris, the cynical Chris, not very cynical with those fucking 5 gifties, are you, brother? Thank you very much, cynical. Thank you very much. The Oilers are back. The Oilers are back. I was afraid that I'm going to be eating literal dirt this month, but after Christmas I realized, okay, after Christmas and New Year's everybody's broke as shit. Who's gonna give the fucking screaming masked communists some subbies? But I guess those salaries have come back and we're all eating this week. Thank you, beautiful Oiler. We are 4 gift subs away from me gifting another 5.
be legislated effectively. There's nothing that Washington could do. There's no law it could pass to control this thing that has spread into every device we use in every corner of our lives. So what is right now sort of the dominant thinking about regulating AI in this moment?
The short answer, it's going to resist regulation both domestically and internationally because it's not just a domestic challenge. People have this image almost like arms control. Nuclear weapons emerged and we regulated nuclear weapons through arms control agreements. But nuclear weapons are in the hands of 2 players, the United States and the Soviet Union. Incredibly hard to build. AI is decentralized.
Yeah, oil me, daddy. Oil me. Thank you, comrade. Yeah, so much, you fucking legend, for another 5. Everybody say thank you to comrade and to cynical for those gifties. And then say thank you to me for another 5. Paint my chat purple. That is my favorite color, baby. Ain't nobody watching ads up in this bitch.
Willie. Plus, it's dynamic. It's changing. Since this show began this morning, it's already advanced. As a result, I actually think the chances for corralling AI, and since only the good parts we're going to embrace and we're going to push back against the bad parts, great idea in principle, extraordinarily difficult in practice. Can I say one thing about the speech also? Well, it was interesting to me.
I've been working on them shoulders, bro. That shit getting wide, bro. That shit getting wide. Shit getting wide, and I have a big head.
Use the word robber barons. That's a phrase I haven't heard in a while. The Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers. And I almost
Yeah, except fucking Bernie uses it all the time, bro.
I saw this speech as an attempt to wrestle back the mantle of populism from the Republicans. Donald Trump has run a populist campaign, and that's a lot. He's the outsider. And what Joe Biden last night did was quite interesting. Almost try to reclaim populism for the Democratic Party.
Saying oligarchs bad is reclaiming popular. Okay, next clip. I am not listening to this fucking guy. This man definitely works for this or that form of a fucking think tank. Okay, going back to our conversation about
and you have been watching
how a Trump envoy helped push the Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal.
CBS News special report on a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. This just happening within the past few moments or so. I want to bring in now CBS News contributor Robert Berger. He is live in Jerusalem. Robert, I want to go over some of the terms of this.
Now Biden kind of just took an L last night. I mean, I'll say what I mean. Even let's put our centrist thinking caps on, okay? Oh, look, he's doing populism by saying, hey, the super wealthy, that I'm defining the super wealthy ones as oligarchs, are basically running our country, and we need to do something about them. That would be classic, from a centrist perspective, a populist talking, right? But in the same speech, he literally says, even though it's like super okay for you to earn as much as you want, you can be as rich as you want, that's actually good as long as you pay your taxes. That immediately kills the populist aspect of it. He said extremely rich people bad, and then he said, but it's okay for you to be extremely rich. There was nothing populist in the speech. There was nothing that would rile up a everyday person. Motherfucker spent half his speech talking about fucking AI and about how tech is seeping into every aspect of our lives, and it's super fucked up that they're censoring stuff, while being the guy who censored the world's most popular fucking social media app by quite literally making sure it gets banned in the country. It's hilarious.
This agreement, 33 hostages expected to be released from Hamas in the coming days.
CBS cope, bro. We can't say how we're happy about less Palestinians dying, but the hostages are going to be free.
How soon could we see these hostages released?
Again, they only talk about the hostages.
Talking about women, children, and senior citizens expected to be among those who are released this weekend.
Well, this is a 6-week ceasefire, so we're going to see a gradual release of these hostages, perhaps in batches of 3 or 4, with the several days in between.
What about the Palestinian hostages, eh?
The hope is that the first release of 3 hostages could take place as early as Sunday.
And also, too, with this agreement, Palestinians will be released from Israeli custody. What can you tell us about that? This agreement, Palestinians will be released from Israeli.
Just Palestinians will be released. But they're careful. At least they didn't say prisoners. You see, very careful. Palestinians will be released. Palestinians will be released. Yay. CBS always catching up faster than the other guys.
Israeli custody. What can you tell us about that?
We think the number is around 1,000 Palestinian prisoners that would be released over this 6 weeks, this 6-week ceasefire, and that includes minors, women, and all
prisoners. Blood.
Also, some militants who are serving life sentences for deadly terrorist attacks on Israelis. That, of course, doesn't sit well with the Israeli public, but what people are saying is, the government too, is that that's the price you have to pay to get those Israeli hostages home. And let's point out, 33 is only about a third of the Israeli hostages held in Gaza.
This is a big win for the Biden administration, just less than a week until a new administration takes over. But Margaret Brennan brought up a really interesting point that this deal was actually broke.
Yeah. Fucking fire the stupid fucking monkey in a blue dress that just reads off of fucking teleprompters. If anybody gave you an actual diploma for journalism from a university, they should take it back, you little robotized reading machine. Motherfucker has a lower IQ than a fax machine back in the day. Because you remember fax machines? You put the thing in, it comes out on the other fucking side. This is a human fax machine, but with adapted audio qualities.
Brokered by members of the Biden team, but also the Trump team, too. What can you tell us about that?
Well, there's been Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, was in the region, and from what I've heard, kind of twisting arms both here in Israel and in...
Did something that you fucking cunts couldn't do for a year and a half, while saying that you are not going to twist Israel's arm into a ceasefire because it would cost you an election, only to lose the same election and then have your competitor twist the same fucking arm.
Qatar, which to put pressure, Qatar being a...
And by the way, just to go back, I always said the only way we get an actual sustainable ceasefire is if the U.S. Twists Netanyahu's arm. That is the only way we can get it. But I must admit, I was skeptical of that ever happening under Biden or under Trump. But you can look at my old live streams. I always said that is the only feasible way this fucking thing stops. But the timeline in which Trump is the one to execute it, I didn't see coming.
Mediator with Hamas to get them to close a deal before he took office.
It was, we needed to push Hamas into accepting the peace deal. The same Hamas that had their main negotiator assassinated by IDF, that accepted like 5 or 6, correct me if I'm wrong, ceasefire options in the last 7 to 8 months. It's not the guys that are literally hunted by the International Criminal Court. No, it's Hamas that was supposed to be pressured into this.
Mr. Trump has famously said that if there wasn't a deal by his inauguration next Monday, that there would be all hell to pay. And I think that put pressure both on the Arab mediators and
also showed us that what the Democrats were saying was absolute 100% bullshit. Absolute 100% bullshit, that it's impossible for them to put pressure on Netanyahu, that, sometimes they get into verbal arguments because the Israelis are overdoing it, but at the end of the day, it's a sovereign state and we can't really influence them as much as people think we can. Motherfucker literally said, by the time I get inaugurated, I don't want you people fighting. That's it.
On the Israeli government, including...
The ceasefire deal is basically based on the one Hamas proposed like a year ago. Exactly. Like, Hamas proposed a year ago. And yet it is Hamas that is being pressured into signing this deal.
Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Now, it's important to note that this deal still needs to go through the Israeli government. Can you tell us a little bit about how that process works?
First, it will go to the cabinet, where we're expecting a strong majority to support it. There are a couple of right-wing cabinet ministers who oppose this. They don't like the idea of releasing terrorists, and they think that only encourages more kidnapping. But they're going to be in the minority. This vote will get through the cabinet, and then there will be some legal hurdles to overcome. People who oppose the release of the Palestinians can take that to the Supreme Court here in Jerusalem, but that will most likely, the court will approve that release, and that would clear the way for a hostage release beginning as early as Sunday.
And this deal hopefully will bring an end to this very brutal and bloody war. Tens of thousands of people have been killed over the past year, more than a year-long war. Can you give us some perspective on how big a deal this is today?
Well,
let's go back to this.
For a hostage release beginning as early as Sunday.
And this deal hopefully will bring an end to this very brutal and bloody war. Tens of thousands of people have been
what people? Of what people? Of what people? What people?
Killed over the past year, more than a year-long war. Can you give us some perspective on how big a deal this is today?
Well, on both sides of the border, both in Israel and in Gaza, people are exhausted from this war.
On the same level, yes, on the same level. Some have been living in camps after having lost 30 to 40% of their family, after having lost their homes, not fucking homes, lost their whole cities, right? They are equally scared as the guys that might have to run away from a siren while going to pick up Starbucks. Both siding this will put your egg-looking ass head on the right side of history, I am sure.
For the families of the hostages, it's been a huge trial, but actually...
For the families of the hostages. Who's this cunt, by the way? Who's this cunt? CBS News Marriott reports Donald Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff helped efforts ceasefire hostage between Israel and Hamas inspired. CBS News contributor Robert Berger. Let's check this egg boy out. Robert, there's so many Robert Bergers. Burger! Based in Jerusalem. Yeah. End of conversation.
Especially for the whole country. I mean, especially the hostage issue. The fact that there are 98 Israeli hostages, 60 of whom are believed to be alive that have been held in these dungeons, is something that has hung over the nation really since October 7th, 2023. And so there's some relief. But having said that, as I mentioned, there's still going to be, if this deal goes through, the 33, if they get freed, you still have 65 who are left in Gaza, and it's not clear if and when they're going to make it home.
So what comes next after all of this, Robert? There's a 42-day implementation, as Margaret Brennan reported, to this ceasefire deal. What happens after that?
Okay, so 16 days into this ceasefire, not clear exactly when the starting point is, but 16 days after that, negotiations begin on the 2nd.
Okay, shut the fuck up.
Mustafa Barghouti is the Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative. He joins us now from Ramallah. Good to speak to you, Mustafa. Just first of all, want to get your feelings on the fact that the deal, such as it is, has been announced.
Well, of course, it's a moment of relief, especially for the people of Gaza. Unfortunately, they have to still face 3 days of probably enhanced bombardment of Gaza by Israel, since the agreement will not go into effect till noon Sunday. But still, it's a moment.
I'll be right back, my beautiful chatters. Hold down the fort. Treat each other with kindness and only 30% horniness. I'll be right back.
Of relief for them, because they can see that this genocide will stop. But of course, this agreement leaves lots of scars, as was said on your program. The biggest scar is what will happen to alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian people who suffered from 3 war crimes: genocide, collective punishment, including starvation, as well as ethnic cleansing of many places. Now they will come back to destroyed neighborhoods and destroyed towns. We're talking about 90% of the homes destroyed in the north and more than 80% in the south. People have lost lots of their beloved. There is no family in Gaza that did not lose a martyr or 2 or 3 or 10. It's a very deep scar that people will have to deal with. And the biggest scar is facing the international community. The international community that failed to protect what it claimed.
And every single person that remained silent on this topic, or even worse, supported Israel. The only caveat of this situation, the only relative positive that we can take out is that we live in a digital era where everything is recorded, and I want every single one of you to do your darn best to make sure that nobody forgets who the people who were silent on this were and had a platform, people who actively supported Israel, people who undermined just how much damage and suffering the Palestinian people have experienced, okay? I do not want it to be forgotten ever, okay? This is not a slight cancelable offense that can be brushed under the rug as if, I don't know, they once said something that is relatively controversial. These were people that were either silent or actively supportive of a genocide as it was happening, okay? They are not supposed to have a career in anything even close to having to do with talking to people, giving information to people, explaining things to people, educating people, etc., etc. I mean, I don't think this is controversial.
To have, which is international law and international humanitarian law, and allowed Israel to continue these war crimes. But we look into the future, regardless of the fact that we could have reached this agreement easily, as was said again by many people in July last year. We had to lose 10,000 more people because of Netanyahu's insistence on continuing this genocide, and because of Netanyahu's selfishness, who serves only his own interest. Yet we have to look into the future. And in my opinion, from Palestinian perspective, there are two major risks we have to face. The first one is the continuous Israeli effort to annex the West Bank and to enhance settlement building, and their continuous effort to also ethnically cleanse the people, the Palestinians in the West Bank, trying to repeat the Nakba again. We also face a problem of internal division. And the best way of facing these high risks that we are facing today and to deal with the results of this terrible genocide in Gaza and to rebuild Gaza, the best way is to have Palestinian internal unity, something we are still missing, but we will not stop.
Unrelated to topic, but I think your hat is nice. Thank you. You're nice. Being anti-genocide should never be controversial. Human decency needs to be respected and supported. More, it's such a shame, especially when you call yourself a progressive commentator, content creator, or whatever the fuck. I'm talking about my world to an extent. And yet you were silent about Palestine for the last year and a half. That is unforgivable.
Stop trying to get back.
There is the issue of Palestinian...
It shows that you're just in it for the fucking grift, okay? Because you're afraid of what? Losing 5,000 pro-Israel subscribers? Because you might not re-sign a Nebula deal or some shit? You fucking wheezy little cuck dude.
Prisoners being released. We don't know exactly the details surrounding that, but who do you think might get to be released and when? And will any of these people play an instrumental role in uniting the Palestinians going forward?
The Palestinian society is very sensitive to the issue of Palestinian prisoners. And the release of many prisoners is very important for the people of Palestine. And of course, we are not talking here only about, in the first stage, it will be mainly women, children, and people who have been released before but rearrested by Israel. The big portion of the most important prisoners will be in the second stage or third stage of this agreement. And that's where we will be looking at main leaders who are...
Sorry for interrupting this beautiful footage of happy celebration. I'm continuing to torture myself with this VNU. I really need to go and get a fucking Velo or an Ace. We're talking about 27 milligrams. Jesus Christ. Berry kiwi rush. It smells out the whole room. That's how fucking intense this goddamn thing is. 2 out of 10 recommendation. I'm probably about to pass out on screen for you guys, but enjoy it.
Serving life sentences and who the Palestinian side is demanding their release. Some of these leaders could play a very vital role in the future of Palestinian politics if they are allowed to be released. We still don't know whether Israel will accept that or not accept that. The names have not been approved yet, but the efforts to release many of the Palestinian leaders will continue.
Okay, Mustafa Barghouti, great to speak to you. Thanks very much for joining us there from Ramallah.
Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe.
Thank you. Very good additional information. Let's get information from Egyptian ex-diplomat highlighting outside pressures to get the Gaza deal. Because I'm very interested in seeing, like, the Al Jazeera analysis. I've seen it yesterday. Was very much that it was Trump's pressure that made this happen, because man wants more medal, big medal on big chesty. But let's see more perspectives. Thank you very much, Sarah McPoppy, or Sarah McPoopy, depends if you want to pop or poop for the 6 months.
Living abroad have also been celebrating the news of a ceasefire deal in Gaza. In the Egyptian capital, Cairo, there were scenes of joy on the streets. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi welcomed the deal. He said it highlighted the importance of quickly providing critical aid to people in Gaza. Let's talk to Hussein Haridi, a former Egyptian assistant foreign minister. He's also served as the Egyptian ambassador to Spain and Pakistan. He joins us from Cairo. So we know, of course, Egypt's been playing a role in mediating this and bringing it about alongside Qatar and the United States. From what you've seen so far, what made the deal possible now?
Well, I guess the regional situation has dramatically changed, and both. And on the other hand, there is
that change? Are you referring to the Donald Trump factor?
I was coming to this point, sir. The regional situation on the one hand, and on the other hand, President-elect Donald Trump will become the 47th American president in very few days on January 20th. And he made clear during his campaign that once he's at the White House, he wants all the war.
Thank you very much. I could live here for the $10 super chat, baby. Thank you very much. Idemo, brate, pobjegli smo fašiste opet. Daj Bože, brate, daj Bože. Guramo. Hvala ti, brate.
Wars going on in the world to come to an end, whether he meant Ukraine or the Middle East. It was quite obvious that there are new directions.
By the way, I don't want to sound like I'm putting too much pressure on the Americans repivoting because a new president is coming into power. Israel is literally crumbling as well. Keep that in mind. They can, because of their population size, because of the way their economy is set up. Even as a state that basically has unlimited money from the United States, it somehow managed to completely mismanage this quote-unquote war, more like ethnic cleansing campaign, as we all know. So there's internal Israeli pressure as well, sometimes vocal, sometimes manifested in general political disenfranchisement towards this not happening. And again, in Israel, it's not happening because they give a fuck about the Palestinians, but because they're seeing their life standards drop as well.
For American foreign policy.
It's a bunch of things that just came into place perfectly.
At least in the Middle East. That's on
because when completely concentrating on Trump funny, look at what he did, we kind of risk minimizing the Palestinian struggle, which through their resistance made this possible as well.
That's on the one hand. On the other hand, the Hamas people, of course, understood that the situation now in the Middle East is completely different from the situation, strategically speaking, from the situation that had been there before October 7th, 2023. So,
I mean, I think the main takeaway from Israel is that they shouldn't send ground troops to commit genocide. They can use their air force instead to slaughter Palestinians. I mean, they got extremely cocky, and it feels more badass from their lens to actually send in troops. That's why they really did it. But yeah, it's going to be a return to the old way of doing things, which by old I just mean from a year and a half ago.
I believe, of course, and we adding to that, the...
Yeah, this is less a success story for Trump, absolutely, and more a catastrophic failure story for the Democrats and Israel's fundamentally self-destructive state ideology, absolutely. Every single pitch that the Democrats have been giving you for the past year and a half has been, we will become unelectable if we do not support Israel wholeheartedly, and yet, I'm tired of repeating the same point, but it's important. And yet we see the guy defeating them pivot on the thing they said would make them unelectable.
Pressures from Qatar, from Egypt, from the American administration on both Hamas and the Israeli government to abide by the outline that President Biden made back in May 2024. And in fact, I would like to underline the fact that this concept of 3 stages was initially an Egyptian...
In the meantime, the thing Dem said would happen under Trump is happening under Biden.
The names of those who have been arbitrarily detained.
Reporter Sam Husseini was just physically dragged from Blinken's briefing. Why aren't you at The Hague, he asked. Jesus.
I carry in my pocket the names of those who have been arbitrarily detained and unfairly held hostage, unjustly held hostage, and bringing them home, returning them to their families, returning them to their loved ones. Finally,
get your hands off me. 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 Answer a damn question. Do you know about the Hannibal Directive? Do you know about Israel's nuclear weapons? Everybody from the ICJ. I was sitting here quietly, and now I'm being manhandled by 2 or 3 people. You pontificate about a free press. You pontificate about a free press. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I'm asking questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions, and so I'm asking questions.
Sir, respect the process.
Wasn't the point of the May 31st statement to block the ICJ orders? You blocked the ICJ orders.
Please, sir, respect the process.
Oh, respect the process. Respect the process while everybody from Amnesty International. From Amnesty International to the ICJ saying that Israel is doing genocide and extermination. You're telling me to respect the process. Criminal, why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague?
I'll let this man's courage speak for itself. I'm not going to give any commentary. And how does this fucking animal respond?
Finally, we've worked to modernize our diplomacy so that we're more agile, we're more effective, we're more prepared for the challenges.
Power levels chat, don't say stupid fed shit, please, I love you.
Initiative that was floated early in 2024. If I remember correctly, Egypt floated this idea, this initiative in January, February 2024. And the American president took it up, and as well as the Security Council, the United Nations Security Council. So now we have a deal, and we have to work with this deal. Of course, there are some question marks about whether the Israelis would really honor their commitments in this deal. But this time around, there are 3 guarantors, Egypt, Qatar, and the United States.
And the United States.
have pledged to make sure that the parties to this agreement would honor their commitments.
All
So
right.
let's work on in this framework, and Egypt will keep working with the Qataris and the Americans in this respect.
All right, I'm terribly sorry we are out of time. I would like to ask you many more questions, but maybe on a later show. Mr. Hussein Halidi there, former Egyptian Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you for your time, sir.
All big news.
And Willie.
Now let's hear from the biggest fail cock in the room. Netanyahu accuses Hamas of reneging parts of the ceasefire deal, which my chat has taught me means going back on. It's indeed not a racial slur.
A group of Israelis has gathered in West Jerusalem to protest against the ceasefire deal. Bereaved families of Israeli forces in Gaza are among those demonstrating. They're calling on the government to abandon the deal, calling it a surrender.
I mean, they're right, it is. And that is good. Yuppa.
The Israeli Prime Minister's office has released a statement on the ceasefire deal. It reads, Hamas has reneged on parts of the agreement reached with the mediators and Israel in an effort to extort last-minute concessions. The Israeli cabinet, it says, will not convene until the mediators...
Yeah, I'm sure you're not burning all documents that prove how much intentional civilian damage you've done in the last year and a half. I'm sure you're not using this as a method to postpone journalists entering Gaza and international journalists getting more information from the Israeli state as well on how this quote-unquote war was handled. I'm sure.
Notify Israel that Hamas has accepted all elements of the agreement. Well, Hamas, meanwhile, has released a statement saying it's committed to the ceasefire deal announced by the mediators in Qatar on Wednesday. Let's bring in Al Jazeera's Hamda Salhout now, who's joining us from Amman, Jordan, because Israel's government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting from Israel and the occupied West Bank. The Prime Minister's office, the Israeli Prime Minister's office, Hamda, talking about a last-minute crisis that's preventing the signing of the agreement. What exactly is this crisis?
Thank you, Cyborg Penguin, for the 3 months. Alhamdulillah. Hopefully now the Palestinians in Gaza may enjoy respite for violence in the past 15 months. Let us hope, let us hope.
Well, according to the Prime Minister's office, they say this crisis is solely because of Hamas saying that they're backtracking on parts of the agreement, looking to exploit the agreement, and Israeli media reported that some of it is due to the names of Palestinian prisoners who would be released from Israeli jails. But let's remember that Hamas released a statement shortly after saying that they remain committed to the deal that was signed that was announced on Wednesday evening. But it's also worth mentioning this comes amid the backdrop of a lot of internal conflict in the Israeli government, and some Israeli media this morning is reading into it as a crisis internally within the government rather than any sort of crisis with Hamas at all. Let's remember that there are members of the far right who said that they would leave the coalition, they would topple.
This is probably like completely earth-shattering for the Israeli far right, which is, I don't know, it's so right that probably if the planet was an actual if the planet was flat, they would fall off it. That's how far right they are. It's probably like mind-numbing to them because they thought they were going to be able to do this pretty much forever. Incredible.
The government if Israel entered into a deal that they classified as, quote, bad. And that's exactly what's happening. Bezalel Smotrich and his party, Religious Zionism, have been holding factions meeting throughout the morning and early afternoon on Thursday, deciding what the fate of the government is going to be. Smotrich had said last night on Wednesday that he's going to need a guarantee from Netanyahu that Israel will go back to full-scale war after the initial phase of this deal, meaning that they're not interested in this going to phase 2 or 3 and ultimately an end to the conflict altogether. So that's what's going on in Israel. This security cabinet vote has been delayed. Netanyahu's office says it's because of Hamas, but according to what we're reading and what we're seeing within the Israeli government, it's because of internal quarreling within the coalition.
Hamda, thank you very much for bringing us the latest. Hamda Salhout.
Usually what you have when a far-right state is in an active frenzy of war, usually what you have is people start very much so identifying with that active frenzy of war. And once war ends and the adrenaline leaves the body, I'm talking here metaphorically, there's a great crisis of identity. And in that crisis of identity, everybody who was a member of leadership of said far-right genocidal project ends up being kicked out, but ends up being kicked out for all the wrong reasons, aka the people abandoned them because they lost the war, not because the war has ended.
In Amman.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.
From Al Jazeera. Okay, now let's slowly move into, I think we covered at least when it comes to the current information that we have about this developing situation. We can slowly move to our conversation about the massive TikTok refugees over to Red Note. But let's just finish with one last video from our favorite liberals over at TLDR News, titled Gaza ceasefire agreed. Did Trump play Netanyahu? Let's see the hot takes.
This video is brought to you by Brilliant. On Monday, Reuters reported that, after more than a year of apparently futile negotiations, Israel and Hamas were finally nearing a deal that could bring an end to the war in Gaza. While Joe Biden and his allies were keen to take credit for the breakthrough, it looks like this sudden breakthrough is mostly down to Trump, who's taken the lead on negotiations in recent months via his new Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff. While nothing has been formally agreed at time of writing, a deal looks closer than ever. So in this video, we're going to have a look at this new deal, why it's pretty embarrassing for Biden, and what might happen next.
As a chatter brilliantly said, this is not a deal that Trump made happen. It is a deal that the Democrats massively fumbled.
Dive deeper into politics with our magazine. Two between Hamas and Israel began in November 2023, but little progress was made for the next 6 months or so.
Yeah, maybe because Israel killed everybody on Hamas' side that was defined as a negotiator.
The outlines of a deal finally emerged in May when Qatari and Egyptian negotiators proposed a three-phase deal, which was the basis of the deal President Biden announced in June. Broadly speaking, the first phase involved a temporary ceasefire and the exchange of some hostages for Palestinians imprisoned in Israeli jails. The second phase involved the exchange of all remaining hostages, and the third phase involved a total permanent ceasefire, with negotiations on Gaza's future governance structure. However, while both sides apparently accepted the three-stage framework, they couldn't agree a deal. The big sticking point seemed...
Yeah, Trump only applied minimal pressure, which the Democrats could have easily done. Every smug liberal who talked about how complicated this is were proven wrong, although the resistance being so successful was a major factor. That's the only correct take from my guy forgot my password.
...to be the hostages, with Hamas refusing to guarantee that they could return them alive. Hamas's role in Gaza post-war governance structure, which Israel refused to counterance, and the IDF's role in Gaza post-war, with Hamas calling for a full and permanent withdrawal, but Israel, or at least parts of the Israeli government, insisting on either a conditional withdrawal or a continued IDF presence in certain...
Okay, this is clickbait. This is just a clickbait title. This is a pure clickbait title. This is the only... It starts at 4 minutes 50 seconds out of a 8 minute 37 seconds video. He actually talks about what the title implies. Trump gets credit in the West. Netanyahu can blame Trump domestically. Okay, let's see.
But the most likely explanation seems to be that Trump was just a bit more forceful with Netanyahu than Biden was. This would be consistent with Trump's recent rhetoric. He warned that there would be all hell to pay if no deal was agreed before his inauguration.
Do you think Trump will save TikTok just for the sake of populism? There's a chance. I doubt it, but there's a chance. Him being this close to the Zuck and to the Musk and to Zuck's Musk and to Musk's Musk, if you know what I mean, minimize the chances of that. But, you could see it happening. And I say 20% chance.
Posted a video
But even if it happens, exactly, Urfav, we stay on red note. We stay on red note. The slow destruction of xenophobia in the West through simple interactions between Chinese people and the Americans. And I call on the Chinese government to also de-block Western apps so that people can interact more and they can learn more from each other, which will be a direct threat of the domestic xenophobic policy in the United States of unifying everybody in a reactionary conservative ideology under the threat of the big evil in the East.
Truth Social.
Thank you, Top G 420. 1 year subscriber. Let's go, Top G. Thank you very much. One of the fucking OGs. Thank you very much.
Calling Netanyahu a dark son.
Nixon Deng Alliance, Fifth Internationalist. I am talking here about both the American and Chinese people understanding that they are not each other's threat or each other's enemy, which can positively influence both American and Chinese domestic policy and vision for the future of both of the states. Okay? There is nothing negative that can come out of peoples of two countries that might think they are enemies, realizing that their class interests are more aligned than they thought it did.
Son of a bitch, only a few days ago. Haaretz, for instance, reported earlier this week that Witkoff forced Netanyahu to hold a meeting with him on the Sabbath. And the Times of Israel separately...
I'd rather not have Chinese hogs even more radicalized by right-wing slob on Western platforms. You will see much more of the opposite happening when people from different cultures interact. Trust me.
Reported the subsequent meeting was tense, with Witkoff leaning hard on Netanyahu to agree to concessions. Similarly, Netanyahu's allies have recently been complaining to friendly media outlets that Trump is exerting far more pressure on Netanyahu than he expected. If this is the case, it would be conclusive proof that the US always had leverage over Israel. For context, over the past year or so, there's been a long-running debate in policy circles as to whether or not the US could actually...
Where? What debate? Among some dudes that have a fucking political science minor and a JMC major? People in fucking libbed up NGOs? Whoever asked the question whether the United States had leverage over their 51st state abroad? Come on, my dude. Where are you pulling this out? Source, please, bro. In what mainstream? Where, bro? You are calling literal American propaganda on why they can't do anything about the Israelis an actual opinion shared amongst analysts and diplomats. Dude, please, please.
Actually force Israel to wind down its war in Gaza. Critics of the Biden administration suggested he wasn't doing enough to push Netanyahu into a ceasefire, and Biden's defenders claimed that, short of cutting off military support, which Biden was never going to do, there was nothing he could do to affect Israeli decision-making. The fact that, before he's even taken office, Trump has successfully pushed Netanyahu into a ceasefire strongly suggests that the US had sufficient leverage all along. Biden just wasn't willing to use it for some reason. This is deeply embarrassing for the Biden administration. Not only does it look impotent in retrospect, but it's also possible this impotence cost the Democrats the election, given that a non-trivial number of voters either stayed home or voted for third-party candidates to protest the Democrats' support for Israel, and the fact that the escalating chaos in the Middle East contributed to an electorally fatal sense among many voters that Biden's foreign policy had created a more unstable world.
Ooh, whoa. The most lukewarm take of the year, bro.
So what happens next? Well, Ben-Gvir has already suggested he'll vote against the deal, but other parties have now joined Netanyahu's government.
Israel out here thinking that they have a choice. Oh, you know, there are minuses to allying, like to making your economy and your military basically meaningless without the eternal financial liquid dump coming in from the United States, yo. AKA, you know, there are minuses of completely relying on an ally, which I love how Israel thinks that they are America's ally. You're America's fucking dog, my dude. Okay. And that can sometimes be really good for the dog, right? Especially when he wants to kill all and eat all the cats, aka the Palestinians. But you remind yourself you're the guard / attack dog when they pull the fucking chain, and that is what is happening right now.
Probably get the deal through without Ben-Gvir's support, especially if Smotrich supports it, which is at least possible. If the deal does pass, it'll be worth keeping an eye on to see if Trump offered any proverbial carrots, like a normalization deal with Saudi Arabia or a preemptive strike on Iran's nuclear facilities, that might become apparent in the coming months. There's a lot of difficult decisions necessary here, and making huge decisions, especially quickly, is difficult.
Thank you, Political Smack, you fucking G, for giving our friend 5th International a giftee. Thank you very much. I believe we are 4 gift subs away. No, sorry, much more. I apologize. We are 9 gift subs away from me spending my own money and giving an additional 5 gifties. So Oilers, if you want 9 to equal 14, this is the only place on the entirety of Twitch where that can happen. Make people not watch ad for ad equal bad.
Even for world leaders. The good thing is that brilliant is where you learn by doing. With thousands of the world to have a delay.
Half of this video is an ad.
Due to weather. And absolutely necessary thing Brilliant has the annual premium.
Dude, this video's content was 2 minutes. It was like 3 minutes and a half, out of which half was reading out shit. How do these people make money? Who watches this? I mean, that's ironic because I just watched it.
All big news.
Anyways, yeah, I think we covered everything we can cover, both the Dem cope and so on. Let's talk about the app ban. This is fucking hilarious. Last stream 2 days ago, we spent 7 hours on Red Note, and it was quite the experience. It is a superior social platform, socialist-ish platform. So yeah, let's see the coverage on this mega fail. I don't know if you know, but Red Note is currently is and continues to be for, I think, 4 days now, the most downloaded app on pretty much every app store, depending on your system. Talk about a backfire. Talk about a backfire. I even had a few saved. Where's the saved stuff? Profile, messages, bookmarks. Yes, this. Interesting stuff I saw. Someone in the comments of Red Note asked me if we really had to pay for an ambulance in America, or if that was just their government's propaganda. It's number 1. This is number 2. What movie is this? Because bro's spitting 3 seconds after installing Red Note.
You will be brainwashed. Me, America's son. Ha! That will be a challenge. You bet. Our enemies are all those in league with imperialism. The bureaucrats, the big landlord class, and the reactionary section of the intelligentsia attached to them.
Duolingo Chinese lessons are up by 214%. Ha ha ha! Absolute classic. Americans are quickly realizing that the U.S. is not a first world country after spending just a little time watching the lifestyle of the Chinese on Red Note.
So I downloaded Red Note, and I am no longer convinced that we are living in a first world country. Seeing the everyday lives of
the sound
people,
is low.
like,
I can't
obviously
increase
certain Chinese people. I'm not saying everybody's lives, but it's just like insanely eye-opening. There's something really remarkable that I have noticed about most of these Chinese people, even older people, like people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they look so much less traumatized than most Americans. Our citizens here are not only like
Americans be like, we have the greatest access to information. Also Americans, the only information I get is from my state and other guys that really love my state.
really cold and mean and disconnected.
Remind me to give you an audio control plugin later. Thank you. Okay, we got the part.
I didn't think that the culture shock of joining Red Note would be watching grocery hauls. Chinese grocery hauls are insane because they can actually afford food. You guys, what one woman, it would have cost me, oh my God. This is so sad. America is, I already knew, but it's like so sad. We're such a sad excuse for our country.
And people like are undermining this. Like, oh, whatever, it's just a social media app. No, this is the first moment in the last 30 years that Americans get an actually relatively realistic perspective on the way the country and the people they have been demonizing for the last 3 decades actually live like. Incredible stuff. Incredible things are happening over in China.
Just 4 days until the
capitalism is glitching, yeah.
TikTok ban is officially supposed to take effect if the Supreme Court doesn't grant some stay of execution to the Chinese company or run app. Millions and millions of people, we can put this element up on the screen, here in America are flocking over to Red Note. And including me, I'm over on Red Note. And people are like, "What's your?
Are you really?
What's your handle?" Yeah,
You've said you got on TikTok and then immediately got on Red Note too.
I got on Red Note before.
Dude, I have to admit to something. Today, obviously, content goon brain, right? I open my phone and by instinct, I immediately slide over to TikTok and I scroll 4 times. I'm like, dude, I scrolled 4 times and there's no cats doing 360s while they turn into plankton and then start singing the Internationale. I'm on the wrong app. Closes app, proceeds to spend an hour on Red Note. It is and I live in Europe, so the ban is not gonna affect me. But I am my go-to content gooning app now is unironically Red Note because it's better. It's like just better. And if they allow for some language shit to adapt, it's going to be so cool. The only people that I find exceptionally cringe are like some well-meaning liberals that are literally saying, "What? This is fucked up. Why are we colonizing their app? What the fuck kind of brain rot are you on, my dear, kind-hearted friend? What? You going to an app that is popular in another country is not equal to you taking someone's land and resources, my brother. What the fuck?" Red Note has so much more Chinese cultural content. It's so good. Yeah. It's not colonization. We're just moving in. Exactly, brother. Exactly. Latinxus. Absolutely. Just like you should move out of advertising and move into an advertising-free world by not watching the ad that is going to play in the next 4 minutes and instead joining Yugopnik's Red Note, also known as becoming a subscriber or gifting to other future Yugopnik Red Note readers. For $6 a month, for less in some countries, or for free through Prime. We are at 1 gift sub. In 9 gift subs, I donate another 5 because fuck my money, but also fuck ads. Thank you very much. Ad plays in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Let us continue, brothers. Let us continue.
For TikTok, I think.
Wow. That's
also, YouTube watchers, you're very, very welcome to come over here on Twitch and have fun with your superior brothers and sisters in chat. Thank you very much.
so perfect.
So I'm not
Link is in the descripzione.
even a refugee. I think just search Ryan Grimm on there. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't posted anything on Red Note, but Red Note is actually kind of cool. But what's amazing about this kind of own goal from the U.S. is that TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is a Chinese company. Red Note is owned by the Chinese government. Like there's not even a layer between there. Now, it is the #1 app in the store right now. I think Lemon8, which is also owned by ByteDance, is #2. Now, according to the law that bans TikTok, both Red Note and Lemon8 would also be banned. You know, like because it says basically if there's X number of million users and it's a Chinese app, it's banned. So,
wait, what? I didn't know this. What the fuck? What? I didn't know this. What? No, I know I'm a streamer and I'm supposed to say I know everything, but what? It would get banned? Is that what? I don't think so. What? Nobody knew this, right? Ryan, I love you. Literally, I love Ryan. But what the fuck? I don't think this is correct, Ryan. What?
It's...
At least I'm coping that it's not.
Yeah, you're out of the frying pan into the fryer. You're like, you're still kind of gonna get screwed. But it's amazing to watch what's unfolding over there. You can put up this second element up there. The cultural exchanges between the Americans and the Chinese are just absolutely...
You guys don't need a new app. You guys need a revolution.
Delightful. This one has been going viral. Chinese user telling the Americans, look, you guys don't need a new app. You guys need a revolution. And you can go back and be like, okay, we'll get a revolution, but it's so, by the way, it's so easy to get banned from Red Note. So you're having a bunch of Chinese, because
what kind of revolution would you like us to have, sir?
The censorship on Red Note is much more severe than on TikTok or American apps.
Yeah, because they don't let you talk about drugs or shake big booty. But, you know, there was a Chinese guy on Red Note that was like, sorry if that's like fucked for you, but like there's platforms where you can shake your booty. We have nothing against you shaking your booty, but just like do it on another app, bro. That's the whole argument.
So
Douyin is Chinese. They're probably both equally censored.
Yeah,
Douyin and Red Note.
So you've got a bunch of Chinese users like basically giving cheat codes to the Americans. Like, here are the things you can't do if you want to not get banned.
Right.
Anyway, so you're not on Red Note?
Not on Red Note, but you know who's all over Red Note? We can put up the next element.
It's the opposite censorship as we have in the U.S. It's wild to have both perspectives, right? It is. And it's mostly don't share misinformation. Yeah, if you say something even remotely racist, you immediately get booted as well.
Luigi. Luigi is beloved on Red Note, according to people who have been. Have you seen this, Ryan?
Yes.
It's literally what pops up on your first page when the algorithm knows nothing about you. It's like Luigi, Lenin, Mao Zedong, fashion holes, and like cars that can jump and shit. like it was so surreal. I love it so much.
I saw somebody say like,
and cats. Oh my god! Like just it's all cats. It's all cats and fucking plankton going. Like that was my post from the other day. My post from the other day was fading empire also means fading cultural hegemony. And if anything, my recent 6-hour Chinese TikTok stream taught me it's that not all the trends, mainstream content creators, and edgy memes will exclusively be coming from the US anymore. And I, for one, welcome Brazilian Chinese plankton brain rot. And I love this one commenter. Please come to Brazil immediately. As well as had to double take seeing this on Twitter instead of Bilibili. Oh, legend. Oh. Plankton killing in the name of what?
Now you do what they told you. 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 And 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 now you do what they told you.
This is 500 views. 500 views.
And now you do what they told you. And now you do what they told you. You now you do what they told you. Those who died are justified for women to ban taking chosen white. You're justified. Those that died for women to ban taking chosen white. Those who died
Incredible things are happening. Oh my God, incredible things are happening. Thank you, Barry Balls, you fucking legend. Do what they told you and subscribe to Yugopnik for $6 of free with a Twitch Prime. Listen to Barry Balls. Barry Balls' wife has the best fucking husband, okay?
Well, why do the Chinese users love, support Luigi so much? And somebody said something like,
that's the next element.
He who carries the water for the community must be supported. Or something like that. I was like, oh my God, that's delightful.
Yeah, this is the next element. We can put it up on the screen. It's someone on X posting screenshots of the Luigi love on Red Note saying, Red Note is effing insane.
There it is. The person who carries firewood for the masses should not be left to freeze in the wind and snow. That's much better than the one I said.
And meanwhile, here's the next element as well. You had Mr. Beast yesterday pretty openly, actually this was later on Monday night, pretty openly saying, okay, fine, I'll buy TikTok so it doesn't get banned. Unironically, I've had so many billionaires reach out to me since I tweeted this. Let's see if we can pull it off. He posted, that's Mr. Beast saying that.
Yeah, now I'm good. I'm on Red Note, bro. I'm good.
As reports in the New York Times and other places yesterday said Elon Musk was being considered by Chinese officials, this is who the New York Times sourced their report to, for purchasing TikTok in the United States ahead of the ban, which is interesting because to the extent that I have seen, we haven't seen that floated in American media. So TikTok totally denied that, but TikTok itself is mostly separate from China. The sort of allegation is that TikTok is based here in the US, but the allegation is accurate that ByteDance, while it's the parent company, does still have access to all of the...
Oh shit, we have fucking Plankton in chat. Holy fuck. We have Plunktoon. I call him Plunktoon. I don't know what the official name for him is. It's not Plankton, but Plunktoon. Like Plunktoon. Kut. Like, you have cat, you have Kut. You have Plankton, you have Plunktoon. Plunktoon.
The data because of the way the Chinese government controls corporations, that they would have to hand over data if the Chinese government asked, that there are many members actually of the Chinese Communist Party who work for ByteDance, and ByteDance Beijing headquarters, Forbes has covered this really extensively, that there has been intentional censorship of journalists from ByteDance's headquarters, censorship of different political topics from the same places. Like, those are all pretty well fleshed out by reporting in Forbes and elsewhere. But it is true that there's at least a little bit of a firewall between the U.S. operations that are of TikTok, which is literally...
Dude, this conversation is absolutely meaningless. They're banning the whole fucking platform. Fucking boring ass fucking take. Holy shit.
...based here.
They're banning the whole app, bro. They're banning the whole app.
And ByteDance, which operates the Chinese version of TikTok.
Try to post like an actual video of what is happening on the ground in Palestine on Instagram. Should we ban the whole fucking platform because Israel has direct influence on Zuckerberg and the way he runs his fucking platforms? What the fuck?
And Lemonade, which is also now apparently gaining in popularity. That does make it different than Red Note. Red Note is, to your point, more heavily censored than the US version of TikTok. I think what Hawks would say, and I probably agree with this point, is that the potential for censorship on TikTok by China does still exist.
And... yeah, and
who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. Chat, do you give a fuck? TikTok has been the most progressive social media platform that the United States has ever seen in its existence. If one was to measure the political leaning the platform has, you would unironically call it left. Thanks to TikTok, we managed to get IRL footage from the ground of the Palestinian genocide as it was developing even in the earliest of days. Thanks to TikTok, we could have working class opinions from regular working class people that aren't professional pundits or content creators spread like wildfire, and through it spread ideas of community and of class consciousness throughout the U.S. empire. Number two, it's just a better fucking algorithm and a better social media than any other one that exists, because it actually gives you the shit that you're looking for, okay? And it's a great community builder, and that is what is costing these tech billionaires that own the other corporations so much money. And because of those two reasons of equal value, this platform is getting banned. And yet we're here talking about how it's not that good because the Chinese might get a little bit of data, or they might ban this or that content creator because of this or that reason, is incredible. Thank you, Barry Puvey. You're watching Americans realize that other countries have their own set of laws and you have to abide by them or you get in trouble. Whoa. Breaking: ceasefire will go ahead. Mashallah. Breaking: ceasefire agreement will continue as planned. Crisis resolved. Israeli cabinet U.S. says its confident ceasefire will go into effect on Sunday. Is Israeli cabinet due to vote on Friday? Live. Blinken says he is confident in the ceasefire and expects it will go into effect on Sunday. On the ceasefire, I am confident. I fully expect the implementation will begin on Sunday. He noted that the process of negotiations has been challenging and that you may get a loose end. Now imprison all of them. Trial all of them. Or someone has to pay for all this shit. But that is for tomorrow. Today we're good. Today we are good. Today we are good. Thank you, Political Smack, for the gift sub, my dear friend. Thank you very, very much for your fourth gifty. The oil flows. The oil always flows. And look, MSNBC immediately. Propaganda, feel-good pieces for Israel. Really don't know the fate of any of the hostages. Father whose son was taken by Hamas. Like, that's the first thing, 22 minutes ago. They had it locked and loaded in the fucking chamber. The whole video. Locked and loaded in the chamber to fire in case we get some actually good news. Okay? Blinken interrupted. You posted this. 600 views, of course.
I have even greater respect. Even greater.
Instead of journalist arrested because he shared opinion, we have Blinken interrupted. You see what they're doing here?
Appreciation. For you asking the tough questions, for you holding us to account, being on the receiving end, sometimes that's not always the most comfortable thing, not always the most enjoyable thing.
Yeah, you know what's also not comfortable? Fucking dying or holding your kid that is in 12 different pieces because a bomb that you supported being dropped just fell on your head. That's a little bit more uncomfortable.
But it is the most necessary thing in our democracy.
Reporters in Gaza were on the receiving end of your bombs. Why did you keep the bombs flowing when we had a deal?
I'm happy to address questions.
We all knew we had a deal. Everyone in this room knows we had a deal, Tony, and you kept the bombs flowing.
I'm happy to address questions when we get a chance. Thank you.
Based order on the mantle of your commitment to Zionism. Did you want to finish? Why did you allow my friends to be massacred? Why did you?
I'm happy to address your questions when we get to questions. Thank you. Thank you.
You helped destroy our religion, Judaism, by associating.
Yeah, I have a statement. Yeah, I have a statement to make. Thank you.
You waved the white flag before Netanyahu. You waved the white flag before Israeli fascists.
I look forward to taking questions when I get a
I think it's more about the national security apparatus in the U.S. concerned that China can kind of push the algorithm around.
They're jealous of that control. They want it for themselves.
And
They've done this
also
with Facebook and X and YouTube. Yes.
But let's say that China manipulated the stuff that we see on TikTok and the direction the information flows in and what gets posted, what gets banned, etc., etc. Okay, let's say China manipulated the direction that content on TikTok flows. And what was that direction? What was that direction? Thinking the racists are stupid fucking idiots. Thinking that capitalist billionaires are parasites. Very funny, edgy dance videos. If this is the future that China wants for the American people, then, I mean, God fucking bless, bro. Even as an American, if I was one. God forbid, of course. Because they always like, okay, they're misdirecting. You know, you don't know how you're being manipulated. But then I'm like, okay, what am I being manipulated in? On Instagram, I'm being manipulated in fucking crazy level of body dysmorphia and thinking that I'm poor all the time, that everybody's doing much better than me, and that I'm fucking ugly, and that I really need to buy 700 products from all the fucking ads. That's what Instagram does to me. X.com makes me want to become Hitler number 2 and shoot every minority I see or get into crypto. Okay? And TikTok wants me to be a normal, productive member of society that does not get conned out of their money by massive corporations and that thinks that, anti-capitalist assassin is kind of based shit. I mean, shouldn't we ask the question, which direction is toxic, and not whether somebody manipulating is toxic? Should we ask the question, and maybe the reason this popped off the most on TikTok is because that's what people wanted to see the most, because that's what they really felt clicked with, what the small level of bubbling class consciousness they had forming in the middle of their beautiful large chest. I don't know. Instead of yacht photos and those $60 coffee joints Hugo runs. Exactly, bro.
And it's so hard for American policymakers to just think that, for instance, young people don't like the genocide in Gaza. They have to be like, well, they don't like the genocide in Gaza because this Chinese app is tricking them.
Exactly.
Or
exactly.
Or this Chinese app is letting people see what's going on in Gaza, which they kind of under pressure moved away from. It showed they can be pushed around just like U.S. big tech firms can be. Elon Musk, let's be clear, has enormous investments in China.
Yes.
So the idea that selling it to him does anything about Chinese control over the app is kind of ridiculous. And also, you would hope that FTC would be like, wait a minute, you can't own both Twitter and TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yes, you would think. It's like completely to your point, like the Starlink operations in Ukraine, actually in Israel.
It's true, bad Chinese app tricked me into realizing the capitalist structure is inherently exploitative and unproductive for the majority of the population. It's awful, isn't it? It's really awful.
In Gaza, he's involved significantly as a defense contractor, but also as the owner of Starlink in
I don't know where this conversation is fucking going.
conflicts around the world. There's also SpaceX. I mean, it's just to applaud this from populist right-wing perspective is completely bananas, and act like this is a power that should exist. And I mean, even X, I think, is too much power for one billionaire to own.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, we'll definitely agree on that. But it's to an extent. I mean, I was thinking about this today. Like, it's this Red Note stuff. The memes are really funny, but whether or not we agree with the policies of the military-industrial complex and the Pentagon, we could not in the distant future find ourselves in the situation where China is literally trying to kill American soldiers and vice versa. And this will get a lot less funny at that point.
This is fear-mongering. This is reactionary fear-mongering on the same level as unhinged conservatives. There is absolutely no difference. Maybe, lady, you should get on the Red Note app and realize that Chinese people aren't cave-dwelling, mass-murdering psychopaths that really want to steal the American way of life because they have a better way of life. Maybe you will realize it's a bit of a vice versa, okay? Maybe you will realize that you are the gobbling up, failing goblin state. Okay, you are the orc hordes preparing to invade, that are deleting all the apps where people might start realizing that the elves they want to invade aren't as fucked up as you were told. Okay, you are Mordor, brother.
Yes, but I would hope that cultural exchanges like this would make a war less likely. As
exactly what I just said. Yes.
As the working people in the United States realize they have more in common with the working people
yes.
in China than they do with their billionaire owners, as Mac pointed out.
What's going to be the counter argument to this? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
On Twitter, I think that the culture exchange is great, and there has been this interesting.
This is the blue gene theory?
Well, there's the blue gene theory, but also because of the way that China has its firewalled internet. The rest of the internet, the U.S. kind of run internet, has existed for the most part without the billion-plus people in China. Like, there hasn't been a whole lot of exchange there.
That's true.
And I've heard people say that it's good that that's not the case, because if it was, every single thing on the internet would devolve in, including like the comment section on this video would devolve into just flame wars in the posts between Indian and Chinese people, and it would just completely dominate and wash everything else away. But otherwise, people are, I think, loving having these exchanges with regular Chinese people.
Well, I was going to say, to the extent
helping
that...
with their, like, you've had Americans helping Chinese people with their English homework. And if you can psyop Americans into doing homework, that's a win.
Well, to the extent that governments, which we know for a fact exerted control over X over the course of the pandemic, Google as well, to the extent that the two governments...
Yeah, the United States, yeah. She's talking about the states, right?
Governments don't, try to escalate rather than diffuse tensions via these apps, so they don't use them as propaganda channels to sort of pump up hostilities, then I think, diffusing tension, I'm all for diffusing tension with cultural exchange. I'm just highly skeptical that these are channels to do that, given how much control our governments will exert over them. And in the case of TikTok, Elon Musk is perhaps the best friend of the incoming president.
And Chairman Xi.
Yes, he's in a unique position, which again, we could be looking at 10, 20, 100 years from now and saying, wow, that was really helpful. That really spared us some unnecessary conflict, but very much yet to be determined.
Ultimately, a complete and total humiliation for Silicon Valley. That Americans being told that they're going to lose access to TikTok are not
Complete
flocking to Instagram or Threads or Facebook or whatever other bile that Silicon Valley has puked up over the last 10, 15 years. And they're like, what else does Chairman Xi got going for us?
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
They're
learning.
Yeah, and they might realize that he might have a lot going for you. That's the big fear.
Like Mandarin and how to type in Chinese characters because it's easier to use the app that way. That you love to see.
We'll see where it goes. All right, this is actually a great lead into our next block, Ryan.
My favorite take ever is that the United States will be the most emigrated out of country in the history of humanity once it loses its position as the ultimate hegemon. Okay, American people, there is no such thing as an American patriot. There is only an American who is not yet annoyed by the level of poverty that he lives in, but they are, so ingrained in the idea that it will get better, it will get better, it will get better, as it's getting worse and worse. When it hits the threshold of too many contradictions and most people realize, it's not going to get better, there is no stronger kind of identity that's going to keep them there that exists in a lot of other countries. And you will see a very fast revamp of keep foreigners out of America and to keep Americans out of foreign countries. Okay? Oh, Lord. And that is why they're so afraid of the intermingling. And that is, this little social experiment has shown us that more than anything else. Americans being genuinely and completely shocked by the fact that, their lives kind of suck in comparison to these big city Chinese. This little social experiment has shown us that they're kind of like mind blown by the fact that there are other developing civilizations out there that also have big tall building and very fast cheap car. It's teaching us two things, just how ignorant they were, but also beautifully how once alternative information is presented to them, they are willing to learn. Indeed. Let's wind down with the Hassan interview thing, shall we? Because there's kind of nothing to add to this conversation in general. We've already gone through pretty much everything, except open the app and watch some fucking dank ass fucking memes, bro. Which I unironically would if it fucking worked. On desktop, it's pretty glitched.
Welcome to Better Bad Ideas. Today we had Hassan Piker on the podcast where we discuss politics, where we discuss mainstream media, we discuss Amazon, and many other subjects. For those of you who don't know Hassan Piker, you're not watching enough YouTube or Twitch. And today, we find out who has a better bad idea. I'm Sean O'Brien, General President of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters.
Put your helmets on, buckle your chin straps. It's a full contact sport.
We're going to find out who has a better bad idea. So I appreciate you doing this, my friend.
Of course. I didn't listen. I did not know that you had a podcast.
I didn't either.
You're coming into my territory now. This is.
No, I appreciate it. You know, I obviously been following you, following your work.
We had. Okay, I managed to open the app. We had a Chinese comrade hit us up with. There we go. We got it on screen. The Chinese comrade hit us up with what they've been watching recently. Okay, let me brainwash you with some Chinese propaganda, according to that white lady. Okay, the only reason you're seeing this video is because Xi Jinping himself has paid me money to show you this video. Okay. This can't be true. Like, she had a gun to her head. She wouldn't have said any of this otherwise. I'm Tim Pool of China. I'm Tim Pool of China. Let's fucking go, okay? What is this? Thank you, Xi Jinping, for the 5 gift subs immediately. Thank you, Xi Jinping, very much. Thank you, Xi Jinping, very much. Sick. We're 4 gift subs away from another 5 for me. Thank you very much. As we all know, when I get anonymous gifts, it's from Xi himself. Thank you, my bro. I'll see you soon, bro. Thank you. Thank you. I will push this app on the young and impressionable souls of the Western peoples, okay? Thank you, Gabriel, for 100 bits. Dude, KGB here. No, we never went away. Stop telling people you're paid by Xi while you're being paid by us to work for Xi as a CIA triple agent. I am working for all of them, okay? It's just the CIA is broke now because America is broke and they're not sending me any money, bro. My God, this doesn't look like a great decaying hellscape. Oh my God, my mind is blown. Oh my God, look, there's like people supporting the government. They must be all like threatened with death or gulag if they don't do this. Look, they usually walk around naked, but here only the supporters get clothes. Otherwise, they're naked. They had to push a train from their villages to get to this big city that's actually completely empty. And people, just for photo shoots, for videos that Westerners wouldn't have even seen, come to record, okay? They're gathering to attack. We got in a massive wall of text. Bro, what is this FYP? Historical article about World War II. The Third German Empire launched a surprise attack on the Soviet Union due to multiple factors such as material resources. Crazy. Oh, we got Eastern European content. POV every small Eastern European ground is absolutely. These shares in every garden, absolutely, bro. The school, no, my school was much prettier, bro. Cats fucking dominate everything. Sunflower seeds absolutely everywhere. Dude, right now in my living room, half of it is covered by sunflower seeds. What the fuck is happening over in YouTube chat? Xi Jinping. Oh no, this wasn't even. Thanks for sharing my app. Thank you, Xi Jinping, for the $10. It wasn't even on YouTube. Yo, YouTube viewers, there's only like 90 of you over there. Come over here on Twitch. You have the link pinned. Come join your brothers, sisters, and envies. Neighborhood playground, absolutely. The two monument, absolutely. Whatever this is like the rundown parts. Rows like this now, because the post-socialist governments can't even fix them. Every classroom, every chair and table in every classroom is still from the fucking socialist era, because again, the capitalists are too busy buying G classes to fix up a single school. Portland blocks. Of course, it's a fucking grayed out as fuck. During summer, it looks lovely. Now it's winter. What do you expect? Everything looks like this in winter. Oh, the lakes. Absolutely. To an extent, got it. Balkans are a bit prettier, but whatever. What is this?
今天我们来聊聊美国历史上最大的一场家庭纠纷——南北内战。这是一场充满奴隶制、英雄和决斗的大戏，而这一切都要从萨姆特堡的炮火点燃了火药桶开始。
It's about the U.S. Civil War, I guess.
南方想分家，而林肯说想得美。于是4年的战火拉开了序幕，战争几乎把国家撕裂成2半，但最终也促成了新的自由与和平。这就是南北战争的简要概述。
I changed my profile to say Mao 8 down and was immediately taken down, but if I replace 8 with 8, it's fine. Mao 8.
炸弹、理想和一片混乱。
It's really well made, actually.
1861年，美国觉得普通的家庭吵太无聊了，
I mean, it's
干
true.
脆上演了一场
Chinese out here knowing history, American history better than
分手
Americans. Wait.
家庭争吵太无聊。
Come on, go back.
1861年
Blacks for sale, slightly less racist white people, dusty Indian cemetery, indecisive people.
美国觉得普通的家庭争吵太无聊了，干脆上演了一场分手大戏。奴隶制的问题早已让矛盾激化到了极点，尤其是在南方，他们的经济基础就是这些免费的劳动力，就像现在某些运动品牌和手机制造商那样，懂的都懂。北方已经盯着南方很久了，是需要做。
By the way, Chatter's clippable moment for Red Note.
改变了。
This is so well
这时
done.
亚伯拉罕·林肯上台了，他提了一个激进的计划：世界上不应该有奴隶制。南方的反应就像是有人抢了他们的棒棒糖。
So
南
they're
卡罗
pissed off that they cannot do racisms.
来纳州率先脱离联邦，并宣布：“去你的，那我走。”其他的南方州也纷纷
I
的
can't
响
do
应，
racisms.
我们
I
也
am
不干
leaving.
了
I'm。translating Chinese IRL, okay?
是谁？
It is in English originally. Don't spoil it for me, man.
I just want to talk to him.
Why do you have a shotgun?
I just want to talk to him.
Dad, this is ridiculous.
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to shoot him. I just want to talk to him.
You can't shoot him.
I just want to talk to him.
Why do you have a shotgun?
I just want to talk to him.
Dad, this is ridiculous.
Just
After all that, I'm a computer expert.
Am I doing this right? Did I update my software?
Hit enter. Hit enter.
Ah, I accidentally ordered 12 Swiffers on Amazon. What did I?
You know, no problem at all. After all that, I'm a computer.
Just like I'm a computer genius, and I can tell you that we are 5 gifties away from me gifting another 5. Lube me up, oil me up, so that I can give you more Chinese TikToks, because that's how money works. That makes sense, and you will avoid the ad that will like play like eventually and stuff.
Okay, but do you know where China is on a map? Yes. Yes.
I grew up in Singapore.
There you go, Jocula. Thank you very much for oiling me up like you always do, baby. Hvala, brate. Thank you, Political Smack, as well. Hell yeah. Paint that shit blue. I knew you were here for the edgy content. I love it. Also, tell Xi Jinping that he can like directly give me money. He doesn't have to use you guys. It's okay.
This town is big enough for the two of us. Doesn't the saying normally go, this town isn't big enough for the two of us? Well, yeah, but we can share. I'm okay with it. You're
Literally Chinese-American geopolitical relationship. It's Great things are happening on this app. I swear. Barry, you fucking G, man. I just love how much your wife loves you, dude. I love how much Barry's wife loves him. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see, not because I love money, but because I hate ads, okay? Maybe also because I like money a little bit as well. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fund my project. Make communismus big. Make the fucking number go up. It's 1911 already. We are in World War I. A couple of minutes ago, we were in 1885. Disgusting. Bring us into the 21st century. This town is big enough for the both of ya. Ain't nobody watching ads in this motherfucker. Okay, thank you, Flaco Bell, for subbing as well. It is lovely. 2 months. It is so kind.
My best buddy anyways. This town...
In 3.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa! Whoa! Dude! Literally, Hugo. I am a hardcore internationalist. Nation states make no sense. I would abolish every single border, every single nation state, of course. Keep cultures and so on, but a unified Terran republic is what I truly, genuinely believe is the future of our species after the class dichotomy is addressed. Also, Hugo, when he sees epic patriotic Chinese content. Give me the Japanese on a platter and I shall serve you skulls. In World War II, there was some World War II. God, it goes so hard.
哎，这小红书破天流量砸我头上了，这太多美国朋友关注我了。
是呀，你一天都
Yeah, you're getting tens of thousands of followers a day.
几万粉丝。是啊，而且带动了咱们中国粉丝也蜂拥的进来。哎，咱们这里边很多留言特别有意思，我给你看看啊。哎，你看这是来自美国的啊。德克萨斯是牛仔的故乡，我们非常喜欢你的风格。来自俄克拉荷马的问候，我喜欢你的视频。哎，这个是一个
See, it's so wholesome. Like probably the whole video is them just reading comments.
国家有共同的兴趣，我希望有一天能够访问您的牧场。
Dude, you even TikTok, which is wholesome as fuck, you do not see shit like this. It's. Thank you, Pakistani lover boy. Yeah, lover boy from Pakistan. Yeah, brother, lover boy from Pakistan. Thank you for the 2 months, brother. Yeah, let's go. We are in 1912. 1912. Thank you very much, God. Thank you very much, God. And the hype train is here, level 6. We haven't done a hype train in the second chat. Remember what happens to Yugo hype trains? Okay? What happens is I tell you that your girlfriend or your mom might have told you that 6 is okay. But here we are, size queens extraordinaire. And without at least a 9 or a 10, we don't even get out of bed, baby, okay? We don't even get out of bed. So satisfy this size queen and become one yourself. And be like Barry and Political Smack. Make that thing grow and throb. And as you do, I will also send some shit your way. That is a 10. Here is another 5 from yours truly. I love painting the chat purple and making that thing grow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Is this against TOS? I mean, probably not. Oh my God, almost an 8. I could do well with an 8. You guys would probably do well with an 8 if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, this is very wholesome.
And that's why I need to make it accessible to everybody. Because, you know, the thing is about the red pill is that it is so taboo.
What the fuck?
That almost...
I don't think the algorithm is yet adapted to what the fuck?
Nobody even considers it. So that's a filter.
This
and then among the people that have
is,
considered the red
racist.
pill, how many people
There
really
you go.
stick
So that
with
the
it
Chinese
and
know.
If you ever get locked up, this is all you gotta do. You gotta watch this. Bring it up like this, right? Then you bend this one here, right? After you bend this one here, see this arm right here, you pop it out just like this. Watch. Boom! Oh! And you free.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that, bro. Thank you, Ziv, for the link. Let's see. Thank you very much, Barry and Smack. Today you're oiling me up, baby. We're still not at that 8, baby. Oof. This just reminds me of my grandpa. Dude, this is my grandfather. This is my grandfather who was a fucking socialist, like fucking cop, dude. He would, oh my God, this is, even his jackets he would fold, which is such an unhinged thing to do. Why would you fold your jackets, you literally crazy person? Thank you very much, Witches. And thank you, Pakistani Lover Boy, for that gifty as well. Ooh, we're so close to an 8, baby. He folds jackets. Unhinged fucking military communists, okay? Folding jackets like we fold the bourgeoisie. In China's case, fold jackets like they fold CEOs, bro. Yeah, literally my grandpa. God rest his soul. Literally my grandpa. This is 1-to-1, bro. Dude, thank you so much, Ziv, because this literally reminded me of my grandpa. This is so nice. I forgot. Oh. Dude, literally my grandpa. Like, literally my grandpa. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for the gift, you fucking legend. Thank you so much, my friend. And we are level 8. Oh, I know Gabriel likes them 8 and thick and nice, baby. I know. I'm really risking by clicking on you guys' links without double checking. But then again, it's Red Note, so I don't think porn can be hosted on that thing. Holy shit, Pizza Famine is also famished for a 9er, baby. Oh my God, 50% there. Thank you, Pizza Famine. Now we are only 3 gift subs away from me giving another 5. This is what I'm talking about. This is what makes the channel survive. And I always thought it's, my brilliant political commentary, but no, it's me talking to you about sizes of trains.
Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio. Everything that I got is just what I've got on.
Whoever, like, the chances of them joining the military for anyone in America who downloaded this app has literally gone down by 90%. Because the main big enemy, they realize, are just other humans. And you always need the main big enemy to exist. The completely dehumanized, orientalized, incredibly far enemy, which is for the Americans currently Chinese. And with this, incredible. And curtains, thank you for the additional 5. Oh my God, 93% to a 9-incher. But also, here's another 5 from me. Ain't nobody watching ads on YugopnikTwitch, baby. This is what I'm talking about. This is what a community is of absolute size queens. But no joke. This is a really nice moment in history. This is an unironically really nice moment in history.
I'm sorry. This is my fault. This has to stop. This isn't the way. Please, come home.
It's been a long day.
Also, I think we finally found it, chat. I think we finally found it. We found what we should always do when there's a train going. For so long, I've been wondering, like, should I play music? But I don't want to be your dancing fucking monkey. It's kind of weird. Should we just play memes? But then you guys got to give them to me on YouTube. You can't find them. And on TikTok, something bad can play. But we found it. From now on YugopnikTwitch, when there's a train, we just fucking watch Red Note TikToks. Red Notes? We watch Red Notes. We just watch Red Notes. Red Note train. Yeah, fucking win-win. Immediately kubashi alcohol. You're just looking for every excuse. Hell yeah, brother. Right? Sounds like a good idea.
Without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Please follow me. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Another thing that I learned about the Chinese that I didn't know is that they're really into Family Guy. Like, really into Family Guy. Alex Peter Lolo. What? It's just it's just this. Here you go. I'm following Lolo. What's up, brother?
No, I know it's late.
Mods, when are we making a Red Note account? Come on, we gotta get on this train right now. We gotta get on this train. We're missing out.
This is the bad place.
We are at 93% and only 35 seconds remaining before we reach a 9er. Do you want to watch Red Note and do you want a nice thick 9 train? The choice is yours, my chatters. The choice is yours and your bank accounts, of course. 20 seconds left. With a curve, with a curve. It's a train, of course it curves. And there we go. Gabriel, as always, edges us right across the finish line. Thank you very much, Gabriel. Thank you very much. That means the hype train continues and there's more Red Notes to be watched.
I can't believe you figured it out.
So good.
在美国阿拉巴马第一天的声音。This is my voice 1 week in Alabama. This is my voice 2 weeks in Alabama. This is my voice after 40 days in Alabama. And you all need to stop because me to faking an accent. And who the hell is fucking my cousin?
This was very good as well. The only thing harder than me is not subscribing at the top of the hour. Exactly, Barry Balls. I'm so grateful, man. Thank you, you fucking legends. Make sure to include Mandarin subtitles so everyone can understand us. Was Zach watching us go to Red Note instead of his shitty meta apps?
This is the bad place.
Oh. I see the Slavs are here too. Thank you very much. Which is at Sabbath. Thank you very much for the sub. And thank you, Crizion, as well. This is such good content. It's really good content. And I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. We get some meta commentary on global genocidal conquests. And then we get Red Note talks, bro. Korean War. Oh my god, that they're getting them hard. China. The United States. Anti-aggression. 1950 to 1953.
조국 해방 전쟁의 선봉 7년여 김일성 장군님께 승리의 보고를 올리자.
This is what TikTok was abandoned for. I want to see if there's Americans. Movie title. Xi Jinping immediately. I like what you're watching, son. Thank you for the $5, brother. Thank you for the $5. Already at 50% of level 9. Let's fucking go. The longer the train lasts, the more Chinese propaganda we get to internalize, brother. Thank you.
他妈的美帝国主义，帮助把战火
Americans joining Red Note learning more history than they have learned in school. I believe it's a real movie. Let me see what the title is. Movie title. There are similar movies. There you go, chat. Somebody write it down. Changching Lake, the volunteer soldiers attack, and the volunteer soldiers fight for life and death.
What's wrong with you, American government? What are you doing to my brothers and sisters in America? Today I realized that my friends from the other countries have been misled. The US government always claimed that we don't have the freedom of speech. But the truth is quite different. So you're right.
Obviously, this man is paid by the CCP. There is 3 men with AK-47s currently directly pointing at his head.
Chinese people don't have the freedom of expressions. But that's nonsense. Americans can criticize their government, and we can criticize American government too. So that's bullshit. But it doesn't matter. When you come to Xiaohongshu, we are one family. Though we may be thousands of miles apart, our hearts are connected. So I warmly welcome every foreign friend here. I will be your best guide, and feel free to ask.
Great job at that niner, chat. Great job at that niner. Because there's a niner, I'll give you 5 more videos. Thank you very much. But we found what we do now. We found what we do on trains. We watch the red train.
Brothers and sisters, welcome to China. You know, the world should be like this. The internet should be like this. The people all around the world are the same. We are the same, you know? We are human beings. We are all the same. Why didn't we talk with each other? Why not? 同志们，大家今天是不是和我一样刷了一整天的国际服，然后现在听到中文是不是觉得很亲切啊？ Oh my god！ 我都刷不到中国姑娘了，刷来刷去都是外国的小姐姐们。说真的呀，外国小姐姐
shouldn't have a washing machine in your office, bro.
真好看啊！咱们国
my allergies could never.
服的擦边小姐姐要努力啊，不卷都吃不到流量了。回到咱们的话题哈，我是觉得真的很好笑啊！大家想，一群自由民主的公民，因为
Shall we getting theory, bro?
民主灯塔封杀了一个会危害他们民主的国家安全的 APP， 就跑到了一个威权专制的国家，在一个摆明了告诉你受到监控的 APP 里，号称自己是难民，真的是太好笑了。所以谁才是真的言论自由呢？谁才是真的自由民主呢？这两边一对仗啊，就更搞笑了。原来美国人也要打2份工啊，原来美国人也是1个月赚3000啊。原来美国人也生不起病，上不起学，买不起房，吃不起饭。哎呀，跟他们比起来，好像我们的生活还要幸福一点。其实啊，有好多国外回来的爱国博主早就跟大家说过了，事情就是这个样子，但总有人不相信。现在好了，有美国人自己现身。
I'm one. I believe that the United States is like peak free market. If you just try hard enough, you will succeed. I was 18. I was an unironic right-wing libertarian. I went to the United States, saw people barely being afforded to live while working 2 to 3 jobs. Saw minorities exploited out of their fucking mind, not to even talk about illegal immigrants and so on. And that's literally a lived experience that completely broke me, but thankfully in a very good way, because it was always like, oh, it's just shit in my country. I was self-orientalizing because we are corrupt and we're idiotic and we just don't know how to build a prosperous country. Then I went to the richest country on planet Earth and realized that capitalism doesn't actually feed the many over there either. And, the ideological chain quite literally broke in half. And I was like, maybe that thing in the first semester when they mentioned that Marx guy, now that whole rhetoric about class kind of makes sense. And that especially clicked when, I was there working on my fucking avocados, making my, some massive fucking dipping sauce for the for the American clientele that was paying, I don't know, fucking $30 for fucking dipping sauce. And the boss passes by the actual owner of the restaurant, not even the manager. He's like, yo, you kid, come with me. I need you to take something. And like, I go out, and for the first time I'm actually passing through the restaurant. He gives me this like one-wheeler, very big one-wheeler, to drive behind him. And he just throws like a rubber curtain for me to wrap around myself. I don't know why. And then he's like, follow me. And then slowly I'm exiting like that, like part of the outside area of the restaurant, and there's just like a bunch of massive fucking mega yachts parked one next to another, because you can go to this restaurant to eat and you can park your yacht quite literally the way a normal person would park a car or a bike. And he was like, get on the yacht. I'm like, are you sure? He was like, yes, get on the yacht. He made me take off my shoes, obviously. We get on the yacht, and there's just like these 4 or 5 caught massive saber nose fish. They're like as big as, they're like 2.5 meters. Imagine me and a half, like very big. And he's like, put them in the thing and then take them back to the restaurant. We're cooking it for the special clientele that is here, that we went hunting. We closed down the restaurant for them. And I just like saw a bunch of Americans like smoking cigars, drinking their beers in their classic rich yachting American style, standing right next to the boat, not helping me for even a second, and just talking about how proud they are of their daily catch, as I was struggling with the incredibly slippery fish to put it on the one-wheeler blood fucking. That's why he gave me the rubber thing. At least he was nice about that, with blood squirting all over me. And every time I would pick up one of the fish and put it into onto the one-wheeler, they would be like, the boy is holding mine now. You see, now mine is bigger. No, the other one is bigger. They even asked me at one point after I put them all on the thing, hey boy, which one was the heaviest? And I was super embarrassed. I was like, okay, the second or third. I don't remember what I said. And then I wheeled it back in next to all of these wealthy people from this mega yacht into the back. And the immediate contrast of seeing, my fellow employees fucking sweating out of their mind because the AC didn't work half of the time, trying to prepare all of this food. The main chef seeing this now and being like, Jesus, we weren't planning on preparing this for the clientele today, so everybody needs to refocus into cleaning and then cooking this fish, etc., etc. I look at my colleagues, the contrast with the people I saw outside on the yacht, and I go into the toilet. He's like, go and fucking clean yourself up and go back to work. I go, I'm taking it off. I'm literally covered in blood. Literally just saw this absolutely insane contrast while being in the wealthiest place on the planet, which I thought would be kind of a utopia where you could actually work from that sort of kitchen to that sort of boat. And I quite literally stared myself directly into the soullessness of my life for like 5 minutes into the toilet, until obviously somebody knocked on the door to tell me to go the fuck back to work. And that is how you become a fucking communist. Yeah. That's how you become a fucking communist. Clip that yacht story, it's peak Yugo lore. Oh, that's a good idea, mods. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you by any means necessary. Thank you very much. Yugo chapter 1. In the beginning. What was that video from? In the beginning. I love how there's just like clips completely clipped out of a movie just placed, and I know they exist on almost every platform, but here they're like 4K, bro. They're in literal 4K.
孩子，你以后不好好学习，就会跟他们一样，没有出息。
你放屁！我们让资产阶级们
He got drunk. That's how he became a communist. You saw he was drinking. That's how he became.
发方法，让那些无价值的灵魂去呼吸吧，工人同志们，我们的回答就是这样的。
孩子，你
Hello， 你好 ，Need how。Thanks， 谢谢，谢谢。Sorry，do a book check。对不起 ，so funny shows， 笑死 ，What the fuck，work out， 我靠
，Hello，What the fuck，
你好，你
小同志啊，来，用不是。
标兵就位。 哪里好？
Holy shit, brother, I didn't know that the Chinese were this base, brother. Oh my god, the Chinese got them guns too, brother. Holy fucking shit, brother. Holy fuck, brother. I thought we were the only ones that had guns, brother. You never told me China has the guns, brother. Holy shit, he's even got a sword that's got like a fucking wig, brother. You all should have brought You all should have brought this out for the opium wars, bro. Y'all got tactical sensies. I love this app.
Hi TikTok refugees from the States, we are Broke Bros. Welcome to Xiaohongshu. We two guys have 1 million followers here. And surprise, right? We don't know the reason either.
Just kidding, we are vloggers. We travel around China and all over the world.
And we're currently in Melbourne for the Australian Open. And here, it is the signature of Coco Golf. That's why our IP is in Australia now.
China is a country with a long history and a rich culture.
Hold on. It is true, but we have more to share. You will discover here that...
I love like seeing 666 everywhere. I know what it means now, but it's still a bit unnerving. If you want free healthcare here in America, just tell them if you want more guns, you have to have free healthcare. The vape war.
We love sports.
Then we have to talk about the Chinese, the Giga Chinese. How good they handle natural disaster. Look at that! Firefighter.
Hey, this is nice. Hey, cutie.
They don't like tourists in here, so try to blend in.
You mean blend in? I'm 2 feet taller than everybody in here.
兩位啊，
我哋淨係想包飲杯嘢。
隨便啦。
Wait here.
Where you going?
Bathroom.
Well, hurry back, man, because we finna party. How you doing? You come here a lot? It's a nice place.
Take us through the aisle.
I'm 2 feet taller. Right, that's why he sticks out. Absolutely. Oh my god, is this a Chinese? Lovely. But with that, I think this incredible stream, I genuinely enjoy this, will have to come to an end because Hakim Chan is waiting for us to record an episode on, which is a hardcore contrast to what we just saw on Red Note, wage slavery in the United States. Not wage slavery, literal slavery, prison labor camp slavery in the United States. It's going to be an interesting conversation. It's going to be a bonus episode. Tomorrow, actually, a Patreon episode is coming out that's going to be public a week after, where we interviewed Ben bed empanadas, so get ready for some incredibly unhinged hot takes. It was a very nice conversation. I think Bed Empanada has a new video as well that you should watch. It's very fun, but it's like 2 hours and a half, so I was like, okay, it's not going to be really relevant for the stream. But yeah, the ceasefire has been achieved potentially today. On Sunday, we will see if it comes to fruition. Even the temporary cessation of hostilities would be nice for our beautiful Palestinian comrades. It's a nice day. I don't know. I'm feeling hella optimistic. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really happy. I can only imagine how happy they are feeling. Great fucking stream, bro. Love you. 2025 is going to be massive. And I'm getting on Giannis's ass to speak to you. Fuck yeah, please do. Please do. Let him hit us up for the program. It would be an honor as always. But yeah, with that, I don't know. Tomorrow I need to get out of the city for 2 days, so I'll probably see you on Monday. But there's a high chance that I will see you on Sunday. I will do my best to do a gaming stream of Sunday, like I've been promising for 2 weeks now. I actually really want to play the game, continue playing it. We're playing a 2015 game, and that's basically a choice game. Life is Strange, so it would be really nice to kind of continue playing it, especially with you motherfucking Chads. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be seeing a little kid that I haven't seen. Very close friends of ours got a kid, so we got to go and see that beautiful little baby. We got to go and interact with a baby. I like children. I fuck with baby. Oh, no, oh my God, I like children. Fuck, the English language, I swear to God, the English language is very scary. Now, let's raid. Who should we raid? Oh my God, that is crazy. I'm not gonna raid you. That stream looks insane. Okay, this looks fun. Tell Denims to sometimes raid me, for fuck's sakes. Here, let me raid Denims. Go say hi. Spam the shit you need to spam. Follow my socials. You see them up there. Join the Discord. I want you to spam, okay? I want you to be loud. I want you to not be toxic, but just very, very loud. Be like a nice combination, like the Chinese people over on Red Note. Very, very eloquent and very loud. Spam the shit that Pandas is giving you. Have fun, and I will see you either on Sunday or on Monday. Genuinely thank you to all the followers. Thank you to all the subscribers even more. Thank you to my beautiful mods. Go and have fun. Use protection. Hydrate. And long live Palestine.